playing some music in the background.
Okay.
I mean, we're not playing it. They're hearing it.
Oh,
We're
cool.
streaming technically, but they just don't see us. They can hear us.
I can hear it.
They can hear us for sure. What? It'll be all right. It's not really any kind of deal.
I know. I'm just,
There's people who get super wigged out. Skip was big time.
I didn't see that one.
He was taking shots of Jameson before the episode.
He was.
He was super big.
I've known Skippy for forever. We used to go to all those
All those events together.
shows at the Journey. Ew.
Yeah. Well, and then you're probably. Well, I was gonna say you're not old enough to know, but you might. The Loser Fest that used to be downtown, the train depot.
Yeah.
They used to have huge events there.
Yeah. I think I was on the tail end of the Loser Fest, but went to a few shows at the train depot, but it kind of became the Journey when I was.
Was it the same location?
Well, the Journey is over there where like Picnic Pizza is.
I think I'd gone to a couple
Yeah.
of them, and then I think it became like a church at some point.
It was always a church. That was like the journey of the youth part of that church, but like when From First to Last came and played and they cussed a lot. That was the last show ever.
Oh.
They told them don't cuss.
They were
They
just
did it
straight up.
and they like ruined the whole.
It'd be alright. Yeah, we did talk about Skippy. Let's get to it. All right, we are here, guys. We are here. I'm sorry, I think that thing's funny. I just added it. Welcome to Trade Skill, guys. I got Lauren Dorminey with me with Wild Herbs of Iolita.
Iolita, yep.
I was worried there. I was worried I wasn't going to say it right because, I do fuck shit up. You can cuss on here too. It'll be all right. We're here to talk about beer, botanicals, business, the 3 B's in life that are most important. I think
Yeah.
something like that. Bitches and bourbon. I guess that could be one too. I haven't done a bourbon episode. But either way, yeah. I'm glad you came on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was a long time in the making.
It really was.
It was like, I think pre-COVID.
Yep.
And then it got closer to COVID, and you're like, yeah, I don't feel safe. You're like, people are dying out there. We're going to have to postpone this. I don't know how long.
It was like right at the beginning, though.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you had you had older people to worry about
Right.
it. If it was just you and you
Sure.
weren't around people, I'm sure you'd be like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm young. I have a good
Kinda
immune
done
system.
The trade skills for sure.
But you got older people, so,
Yeah.
Tell me, guys, what you think. I got a new Stream Deck. I've only added a couple things on here, so it's not great. But I've got some things. You can barely hear that one. I got some cussing.
I love it.
Just little things. I'll add more in time, but that's all I've got. But either way, let's talk about. So it's not the first time I met you as Pretoria, because I met you before that, a good bit before that. You would come into Mellow, yeah?
Mellow, yeah.
Come into Mellow, and you kind of tricked me into getting a job here at Pretoria.
Yes, I did.
She's like, there's a beer tasting downtown, and I show up, and they hand me a employee handbook. Finally, love Lauren. Dan Erdman,
What's up, Dan?
old Dan Belan.
Dan the man.
But yeah, so she tricked me into the job here, and then we worked together a lot. And then she decided to leave and go and do her own thing, which is where this came out of. And I think pretty shortly after you left here, you started. I'm pretty sure you were into that already, but you
Right.
decided to really just dive and devote yourself into it.
Yep, that's
And it
right.
has to be what, 2.5 years by now?
Going on it.
Because I feel like you.
Yeah, it was like August or September of 2019 when I started.
And it's booming, guys. I will go on to my. Do we say it was
Venmo.
the Venmo? Yeah. So when I go to pay people, or they go to pay me rent or whatever, I just see hers is like. It's like checking down the list. I just see tons of people paying her. I'm like, okay, all right, I see you. I see you selling.
Yep, you get on the good days, I guess.
What's up, Shredda? He's on Twitch. He's saying, "What's up?"
What's up?
He's a tarot card reader on Twitch.
Oh, cool.
He came over from Alicia's show.
Nice.
I produce her show every Tuesday. She gets and reads cards, but she's going to take a little break from it soon because she's moving to Nashville. So she's going to get all that stuff situated, and then she'll be back to business as usual.
Very cool. I need to check that out.
Tuesday nights at 10ish,
Nice.
something like that, around the same time as this. She never goes on as long as I do. She says like reading the cards is very draining for her. So she can only, she'll do like 4 or 5 readings, and if she's feeling really good, sometimes she'll do more than that. It's hard to tell sometimes. She'll just wing it.
Yeah.
So you said we're coming up on what, 2 years?
2.5 now. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
August 2019. So
I'm
August
really bad with
2020 would be 1
math.
year, and August 2020.
So just a year and a half. Help me out here.
I mean, you're almost coming up on the 2-year mark.
Okay, cool. So not
But she's
2.5
been killing
years.
it. And we're going to show off some of her stuff that she brought with her. Some of the business, because you started out with, the bundles, and
Yep.
then it's kind of ventured more than that. Like I
Yeah.
see some teas over there, yeah?
Teas, fresh flowers, stuff like that.
What else
Wreaths.
What else you want to make? You gonna go into the soap game, or?
I've definitely dreamed about soaps and candles, but I think probably we'll just start with honeybees, and then maybe go from there with the beeswax. See where that takes me.
And eventually, once you get a lot of bees,
Yeah,
right?
it takes tons of bees to get the beeswax, but
you can just venture into a mead business, and you just sell
Right.
tons of mead.
exactly.
Iolita mead.
Because it just, you get bees, they're good for everything.
Everything. You can use that honey and just make one of the oldest alcoholic beverages since the beginning of man.
With all sorts of herbs and,
Yeah, you can do a dandelion mead.
yep.
Done. Let's get into some beer, and we're going to
All
talk
right.
some more about the business. I'm going to let you pick first.
Okay, pick first.
So we have a lager, we got the sour, we have this turmeric
Yeah.
curcuma, we have a stout, and then we have a session, sparkling session.
All right, I'm going to pick the lager the first.
You just picking it just because it's the one on the side?
No,
The
because
one's
it's...
closest?
you're going to open it?
No, you can
Okay.
open it.
It's, because it's a lager. We won't wreck our palate
Yeah.
for the others.
Go ahead and get yours. I feel like these are going to annoy the shit out of people. They're like, dude, fuck it. No, anybody who's listening is like, dude, fucking quit with all the buttons, man. All right, so Dan, Iolita mead. Yeah, that's what I'm talking
There
about.
we go.
It'd be funny, like it's crazy how life works out and how businesses work out, that you start with something and you're very passionate about it, and it kind of just leads into something else that is, that you maybe not even thought of.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I originally, I wanted to create an app, and Jake and I did, and it, I wanted it before I even met Jake. I wanted it for myself, and it didn't exist. I met Jake, we started talking a lot, and we decided to come up with an app. We just don't have the revenue to do that. So I created the show because I was like, at least I can build a foundation with the show and get some knowledge, and then maybe we can work it from there. And then now we're on the show. Like this is the thing. What's up, Kyle? Paris?
What's up?
I'm going to talk about the beer, and then I'm going to show it off. This is called Rugby Atlanta Lager. It is 5.6. We're not drinking yet, though. I see you perched up. She was getting ready for it. This is Ironmonger. So I've had a pretty good bit of their beer. Inaugural season, limited edition can, 2020. You're a little late on that one. It is Marietta, Georgia. And I'll show you guys the can. She said, no, they're great. I don't know what's great. Everything's great. We'll show off the can a bit. Bellissimo. Look at this beautiful stuff behind there. We'll talk a little bit about that too. This is just a small amount of some of the stuff that she could bring for the display. The speeds are like trashing on me. Orange and red and yellow are not great. We want green.
Oh. There we
I mean, what all it did is it probably made it to where I was like, for a
A
second,
little choppy.
little lag. Yeah, that's the beer, Marietta, Georgia Ironmonger. It is Atlanta Rugby. I keep going back to this because I'm so comfortable doing it. That's how I used to control them before. You know. Yeah, let's give it a try.
All right. Cheers.
It's a basic lager. It's nice and bready. It's got some breadiness to it. Ironmonger usually makes pretty good beer, though.
This is really good.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it. It's got a little bit of a fruitiness to it.
Let me get back into it. See if we got some fruit.
A little fruity, a little spicy fruitiness to it.
Yeah, I get that. I'm getting the bread and the spice. Yeah. So, the things that you sell, right? Well, you started out with the bundles, right?
Yep, the bundles.
And what do people do with these? Like, what are some of the uses for them?
Cool. Yeah. So I started doing this whole venture because I wanted to have a locally sourced herb bundle that, other than maybe the white sage from the Southwest,
Right.
or incense of any type, as much as I like to use them, which was pretty much on a daily basis. I started learning about plants that grew around here, the aromatic kind, the wild kind, and making these bundles to do for personal use. And so what I would do with these bundles is just like you've probably seen people do with white sage or incense,
Right.
is you light it, and the smoke puts out a nice smell, and it's also purifying. So
Your bundles are amazing, Kyle.
awesome! I'm glad you love them.
Yeah, Kyle. Hey, we're giving out $35 worth. So I don't know what, if you just want to buy $35 worth of tea, you could do that if you wanted to. We're giving that away today. We're going to give it away at the 1 hour mark. So at 11 o'clock, we're announcing somebody.
Sweet.
We're not exactly sure how, but that's the way this show is all improv.
Yep.
There's very little planning aside from me setting up everything. Like the actual conversation is
Yeah.
totally improv. I like, so you said that they could burn it. It's personal
Burn.
use, right?
Yes.
And some people, do cleanses with it. Alicia does, she's into the tarot card reading. So her using it,
Yeah.
she could use something like that to kind of cleanse the energy
Yeah.
of the area. So when she goes into it, she's not bringing anything
Yeah.
funky.
Start new, kind of. Yeah.
People do this at like houses, right? They're getting, or just it's a nice smell, aromatic kind of smell.
Exactly. Kind of covers a lot of bases.
No, it smells great. The
Yeah.
eucalyptus over there, I'm about. That's like probably one of my favorite smells.
Yeah, eucalyptus is awesome.
I mean, I buy things that like colognes and deodorants and shampoos and stuff that supposedly have eucalyptus in it, but they never actually smell like eucalyptus. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Yeah, eucalyptus is good.
But
it's good because it lasts so long too. So
the one in my shower though, I can't smell anymore. I think when I moved to Nashville, I don't know if is it a hard plant to grow?
no, it's not. It's native to Australia and New Zealand, and there they grow huge, like sycamore or bigger, huge. Here we can grow them. They love the heat here, but then the only difference here is we have such mild winters. So we could go well into January before we have a frost.
Right.
So these trees will just continue to grow. They don't go dormant. So when they put out new growth, and then say there comes like a frost and it damages it, so they don't live that long here. They'll just be kind of like a shrub, like a little maybe.
I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, and they're just like a short-lived little thing. So
I want some at the new house I move in. I want some of that.
Yeah.
And I want to take all my grass out of the yard, rip out all the green grass, and I want to replace it with, what is it called? Creeping
tone.
Yeah. I want to have pink grass, pinkish purplish grass.
Yeah.
Because the stuff's pretty and it doesn't really grow very high.
Nope,
It's very
just
low
creeps.
maintenance. And then have nice little dandelions pop up in between them. I'm
Yep.
cool with that. You can use that for teas. So going into your business, would you say that you've learned a lot going into it. Not only about business, which that's a given, but also about just, you make your first bundles, and you're like, okay, well, what can I do next? How can I improve on this?
Mm-hmm.
What are the things? I would see like some of your posts where you're just going out like almost in the wilderness and just like snatching stuff up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So I will, I would go out to the woods and basically use like a plant ID app back when I was really first discovering everything, and then you learn how to identify certain plants. You start learning about the families and the genus and the species and all of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, the way that I've learned, just it teaches you a lot about yourself. It teaches you a lot about the seasons. That's what I've learned a lot of, is especially going into the second year of really paying attention to the plants and things. You're like, oh, this time last year that was blooming and this was happening. So it's like your human mind starts to get more acclimated to the seasons and cycles, and pay attention to things on like a seasonal level.
Right. That's a bit of knowledge. What's up, Chris Denthead?
What's up?
That's something that I think was kind of basic knowledge 100 years ago, but it's kind of, there's a lot of things like that they're pretty much gone now. Like their clothes lasted forever.
Yeah.
Once you stop growing, it just lasted forever. You can just fix anything, button, sew it up. Living off the land, just fixing things. Now we're just like, it's broken, we'll trash it. And then back in the days, they just made it work. They had to find some way to like just make it work. That's why I like unrelated but slightly related. Have you looked at like after Cuba opened up? Because Cuba closed up to everything.
Sure.
So all the vehicles, the technology was it was in a bubble.
Yeah,
so just
the vehicles were still the same, 1950s.
Well, people just had to find a way to make stuff work. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess through necessity, invention came. So people were, they didn't have the options just to like, oh, my computer is broken, or like, well, not even computers, because it was well before that even came around. But there was a lot of stuff that they just, if it broke, they had to just find a way to fix it.
But, in the same vein, we've gotten further and further away from things being fixable. They're easily breakable because they need us to go buy more, or
That's
else
true.
you only have one your whole life. Like back when it was the automobile, they were just selling the automobile to the average American, but then eventually it became something that everybody had to have. So then you start getting the cheap ones, and then you start getting the, so.
I just noticed this, like, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
little
a defect.
imperfection.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be unrelated, but I'm supposed to be getting I'm supposed to be doing an episode with the glass blowing. Somebody from glass blowing.
Oh no, that's cool.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
I
Maybe
had
can
the
show them
best
this
time
glass.
at the glass festival, the craft beer and glass festival.
Yeah,
in
I keep wanting to
Americas.
make those, but they usually happen on the weekends, and that's like when I make my money.
Yeah,
So I'm like, well, shit.
I went a couple years ago. It was nice.
So, so you said you learned a lot at the very beginning, or I'm guessing just within the business that you have, it's always kind of a learning
Sure,
process.
as you would
It's always
probably
progress.
know.
Yeah. There's always something new, or always some way to like improve upon.
Yeah.
So if it seems like I'm all over the place, I apologize.
It's all
The
good.
ADD is serious, and that's just the way my mind works.
Mine is too.
There's a guy on Facebook, and when I see him sometimes, I'm like, I wonder if she's ever seen him. He's like something botanist or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And he's definitely like a New Jersey dude. And he's like, oh, this is Botanicals sanaficus, also known as the butternut tree.
Next time you see him, tag me.
He knows his plant shit, but it's just funny. He's like, oh, this is splendiferous
Yeah.
pastificarius, native to South Africa. It's not supposed to be here. And
I
then
love that.
he has this accent. Let's look it up because
Yes, I want to know what his name is.
it says, "Hey guys," Heather Harrison. "Hey guys,
What's
Lauren, do you
up?
have a favorite place you hunt for your herbs?" She can't give away her secret places because then you'd be
Where-
making your own bundles.
I hunt for, hey Heather, I love you and miss you. I go out to the woods behind the house where I grew up, which it was my grandparents', property, and my grandfather raised cows and stuff on the property, so there's pastures and woods back there, and basically, a couple 100 acres where I've always been going, so. But it's all around here. I mean, y'all live, we live in Albany, but all around us is so much woods, and everything you can find is probably just on the side of the road, honestly. So it doesn't have to be some dedicated forest for you to go and learn about what's growing around us. Not necessarily cut it all down and take it home, but to just learn what's around us. You literally just have to pull over on the side of the road safely.
Safely. Yeah, don't get clipped trying to grab, some kind of strange plant you
Yeah.
see. Spider dandelions. Was
And
it
don't-
spider one?
Yeah. Don't touch unless you know what it is. If
true.
you're allergic to these poison ivies and things.
Do you think it's out of the... So you have the teas over there, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. I'll have you kind of come into that frame.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it a little bit more. But do you see yourself going towards food at some point? So I see tea. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a far stretch to have truffles and chanterelles and
Yeah.
these kind of because I can make black garlic.
Yeah.
I made a shit ton of black garlic, and
I've never made any. I want to.
it takes a long. I can do it. I made a bunch for them to make a beer, but then they fucked it up. I was like, I have a gallon-sized Ziploc bag full of black garlic. I was like, this is expensive stuff. I was like, make a beer out of it. I was like, I wanted to make a Irish red with black garlic in it because there's one that they make in Ireland that's extremely famous. It's a garlic business that made a beer, and it's a really famous, world-renowned black garlic beer. And I wanted to make that, and they turned it into a ramen beer. Sounds like it'd be cool, but they messed it up somehow. So
I think I tasted the ramen.
it didn't turn out good. They called it Please Send Nudes, as in noodles, and it had, they were on the right track. It had peppers, and I think he wanted to do peppers and mushrooms and black garlic, and I think he wanted to do the ramen packets, but it just didn't turn out. Something happened with the keg, it explodes. Dan, let's talk about those teas. Okay, this is the guy's page. If you guys are into botany at all, or you want to, it's called Crime Pays, Botany Doesn't.
Did you see what they're doing? Today, we're ascending an elevation once again in the mountains of Northern California. But over here, we got a really cool
Listen
native
up.
plant, somewhat common and somewhat hard to grow in cultivation, too. This is Ariodictyon, aka Yerba Santa. Yeah, there's quite a few species in the genus Ariodictyon. Sessilifolium.
His accent's great, and he just knows all of these. And he's got one on geology as well. Like he'll look at it and he'll talk about like the stone and what caused that, and magma flow, and
That's awesome.
but his botany one is a really good one. It's called Crime Pays, Botany Doesn't, something like that.
Yep. Love
It
it.
says
Down
nope,
in
wasn't cool. Good idea, bad idea. Nope, wasn't cool. Good idea, bad idea. Execution. No, we have the teas over there. Let's talk about the teas. I can show you on this camera over here.
You want me to go talk about the tea?
Yeah, you can show it off in the camera. I can't move this screen.
Right.
So
All right.
you see kind of where that beer is at is the main area of focus. And actually, it might be better just to bring it because there's no microphone over there.
Okay.
So they're not going to be able to see it or hear you at least.
In the meantime, you see that kind of?
Slightly. The other ones kind of outdo it. I mean, it just looks, the black garlic beer. Oh, black garlic beer was great. If it would have turned out right. I mean, I still drank it, but I wish it would have been better. I wanted that, because black garlic, if you guys don't know what it is, it gets a nice, sweet, smoky umami is kind of like what people describe it as. The Japanese umami kind of flavor. But that's what I wanted. And I think actually black garlic might be cool in the bundle. I don't know how you'd work it out because it's like a little, I don't know. But it would definitely add some kind of unique smell. You might have to do a skewer through it, or... So
do you ever dry it? Do people ever dry it and use it in like a seasoning or a rub or something? Like
definitely in a rub.
It?
So when you do black garlic, you're basically dehydrating it.
Okay.
You basically are keeping it at a temperature hot. You're keeping it hot for a long time, and it basically turns the garlic from white to black. And the outside of the shell looks exactly the same, but when you take it out, it turns into like a gummy bear's consistency, and it gets a sweet, smoky taste to it.
I wonder if you could dehydrate it.
So some people do rubs with it. They'll mix it with olive oil. They'll chop it up, mix it with olive oil, do a paste, and then put it on a steak.
Paste, yeah.
They'll do it on a steak in a rub or something like that.
See, I'm into the seasonings and the I think it would be fun to play with on that level.
You probably could. I don't know how, because it's like, how would you make a seasoning out of a gummy bear?
Well, what I would think was I would put it in the dehydrator. I could dehydrate it down into take all of the moisture out of it to where it would be.
You have to leave in there. So the black garlic maker that I have, it takes anywhere between 9 to 12 days to make black garlic.
So it's already dehydrated. So you've got it's basically a dehydrator, or is specifically for?
It's specifically for black garlic, the machine that I have.
Huh.
But I mean, you can do it old school. It's just going to take, I think it takes a couple months.
And old school, how do they do it?
I think they do it with ovens, or they have some kind of like, some people do jerky outside and they have like a smoke shed.
Yeah.
It'd be something like that. You're basically keeping it at a high temperature, not hot enough to burn it, but hot enough to like basically just like, yeah. And it's strange for sure. I like it. I dig it. And I gave 4 or 5 bulbs to some regulars that we have up here, because he was supposed to make me some beef jerky with it, but I still haven't seen it yet.
Call them out.
Infused honeys are amazing too.
Yes, they are.
So exciting to hear about the honeybees, Kyle.
Yes,
you could probably do a black garlic honey.
Yes, that would be really good. And I did I'll do like thyme and honey. You can pour honey over any herb or roses, or it's just, you can make so many beautiful things with it. But you just basically pour honey over herbs in a jar, sit it in like a sunny window, use a little bit of the sunlight and a little bit of the warmth, and then after as soon as like a few days, you'll have that honey tasting nice and herby. It's good on cheese. Or
are you thinking about selling honey at some point? Do you think you'll have that many hives to create that much honey?
I don't know that I will. I think I'll use it in my own. The thing with this whole venture is that it is passion.
What's up, Jake Lamb?
What's
up?
up?
My mom too, Atlas. What's up?
But it's passion based. So I've always having all of these ideas, but I can't necessarily.
Crystal, she said black garlic jerky. Yes, she was the one that's making the black garlic jerky.
Oh, nice.
She heard it, yeah.
But it's like, I would like to think I could sell honey one day, but at the same time, when you pursue your passion to be like your main job, it's like sometimes you find yourself being like, could I sell that? Could I sell that? Maybe I should do that because I could sell that. And then it kind of makes you crazy for a little bit. You got to like learn to detach again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to sell honey, but more than that, I would love to learn honeybees, have honey, use what I can in my own little small batch personal things. And then once I find something that works, then I might consider expanding the honeybee thing.
And at that point, you would bring on somebody because you do it all yourself, yeah?
Me and my mom.
Okay, because when you take out of, like, if you want to do honey, you have, that's a lot of time that's going to take that.
Exactly.
And then you're going to have to take it away from something else.
Exactly.
So where one thing will prosper, the other thing will go down. So
And
let's say
I've learned.
you pounded out honey,
Yeah.
but then your bundles might,
And that's us talking about what you learn. Like I learned that I'm very quick to bite off way too much. I'll bite off way more than I can chew.
Yeah.
A lot of times, so I'm just one to jump feet first, and then my mom's kind of the logistics side, and she'll start asking like, well, how? But I just want to go and get it started. And then I'm like, oh, if we need to change something, we'll adjust or whatever. But so I've learned that. Yeah, I'd love to have 20 honey beehives, but I'd need like 3 or 4 more me.
Yeah, you need to get a team,
Yeah.
and the more revenue you pull in, and the more you build the
Right.
brand, it's all in due time. As far as a business
Right.
goes, you're still in your infancy. Like you're
Exactly.
coming up on your 2-year mark, and if you guys, have we say Venmo or Cash App? Venmo. I have like Venmo, Cash App, PayPal.
Me too. I have them all. You gotta have them
so
all.
I had to keep in mind. And Jake said black garlic honey. That does sound nice.
Yes.
Do some ribs, and that, like, do a sweet rib and do some black garlic honey. Would be too good. But the fuck was I talking about?
Oh, it'd be good in pesto, wouldn't it? Probably. No.
I think just regular garlic is.
Well, sure,
You'd
yeah,
make like
that's what I
you'd end up
thought
making a
about that.
sweet pesto.
Yeah. You
Because pesto is just basil. It's usually Parmesan or some form of strong cheese,
Pine
olive
nuts.
oil, pine nuts, and garlic.
Yeah. I grow a bunch of basil. I do blue basil, garlic,
You make pesto?
pecans instead of pine nuts.
Hey, that sounds nice. And
Yeah.
then all you need now is
Olive
that
oil
would
and
work.
parm.
No, that would work nice.
The black garlic, you mean?
Not black garlic. So in Georgia, we have pecan truffles.
Yeah.
Having pecan truffle
I have
pesto.
not found one yet.
That would be amazing, actually. That would be pretty tasty. Sell in a small jar. It would be pretty expensive because all the stuff that goes into it. This ain't cheap shit.
No.
Anybody who knows truffles knows. Mind you,
They're not as
expensive as like Italian and stuff like that, but they still are. They're
Very,
coming up.
very good.
Like, talk to Skip about it. They're definitely coming up.
And everybody's planting pecans. So that's where
This
you
is
find
like
them.
this is our area. Just get you a dog, or in Italy they use. I think they use pigs.
They used pigs for a while on the truffles, and then the pigs would end up
Eat
eating
them all.
them.
Yeah, you got to be quick with it, man. Those fuckers are hungry. So you said it's you and your mom, yeah?
Yeah, I live out on the family property. My mom's lived out there since I was 3, so we grew up there. I moved back here in 2017 to live with Mom. Grandma passed in September, and her house is right next to ours, leaving that to us. And
Yeah.
so that house is kind of the headquarters for us making the wreaths and all of the
Yeah.
herbal stuff and the
So
teas.
there's just you walk in and there's just stuff everywhere.
And it smells
You're stepping
good.
over eucalyptus and
Yeah,
stuff.
some days it's like jars everywhere because it's constant washing jars, and it's a constant like I am constantly making messes and
I need to make you
clean them up.
some black garlic and give it to you just to see what you do with it.
I'd love to.
I actually had
that.
pesto made with pecans from a restaurant in Thomasville, Moonspin. It was very good.
Yeah, it is good, and it's like the pine nuts are so expensive because if you ever want to look at it, look up a video of what it takes to harvest pine nuts from the pinon pine. It is like no wonder that like a little jar this big is so expensive.
Yeah.
So we've got them in our backyard. That's
You
just
have pine
like
nuts in your backyard?
no
Oh,
pecans, and
pecans,
it's
yeah.
like when you start doing stuff like that, that's where the ingenuity comes from.
Innovation,
It's like
yeah.
use what you have, and then it's a whole new spin on something, but it's like
Local. It makes
it's
it
local and it's got integrity because
Mm-hmm. So still related to your business, but not related to pecan pesto. Where did the actual name come from? And then when did you decide to do that? We briefly touched on it, that you left here and decided to start your own venture. Was it a jump straight into that, or?
So for iolita, is the name of wild herbs of iolita, comes from the middle name of my earliest known female ancestor.
Okay.
And so her name was Prudence Iolita Littleheart, and
those are three badass
really
names.
good name, right?
Yeah.
But you know, all records point back to the mid 1700s is from when Prudence Iolita Littleheart was, and
she already knew what's up. She looked at me like pouring it up. She's like, "Fuck, I gotta drink mine."
but
so 1700s.
But yeah, so she's Cherokee, and that
Prudence
Iolita Littleheart.
Those are some great names. Yeah.
And so so that kind of plays into the whole deal. Using
Just
the
playing
native
into
plants.
your ancestry, and then using
there's
a lot of the stuff
power
that
in the
was-
name. It's kind of an homage back to her and all of the native plants of the United States.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Do you hope to? So, do you want to just kind of keep it small, like kind of just like the Southwest Georgia kind of area, or are you at some point wanting to build a larger brand, and that, you know, people go to, this is going to sound lame, but people go to Walmart and then, you know, they see your tea right next to, you know, Celestial, whatever that name, that shitty tea brand, or not saying yours is going to be shitty.
Right.
I just want to kind of say
No,
that.
that's.
Do you want some kind of grander scale kind of thing, or do you like still just playing into the local and just keeping it?
I think, I don't see myself in grocery stores, not because I don't dream big. I dream very, very big, but that aspect not so much. It would be, I'd like to keep it small. I'd like to keep it very Southwest Georgia focused.
Because it would probably take away from your original idea.
Yeah, but the Southeast period, I mean, as far as herbalism and everything goes, you've got Appalachia, you've got, but we don't have much in the coastal plains. So I would just like more for education and like people learning the plants and the ecology, the historical uses of the plants.
Have you got with Ben Kirkland?
Kirkland, you're like the third or fourth person to tell me to get with him on some things.
I've had him on the show. He is super cool.
Like, I want to just, the first thing I want to do with him is just to do like the fire building class.
Oh yeah, he was talking. Well, we had him on the show, and it was like during the time when Jake was gone. I think he was in Europe or something, and I had him on the show, and he was like, "Hey, do you mind if I start a small fire in this garage?" And I was like, "I prefer you not. It's not my place. If this is my house, I say fuck it, run it." And he's like, "No." He's like, "I've set small controlled fires in a congressman's building or something like that." He's like, "It'd be controlled," and I was like, "I don't. This isn't my place." So the fact she's starting a fire in their garage, well, funny enough, their house ended up burning down, like, 6 or 7 months later. But I probably should have said, just run it, man. But it was a cool episode. He talked about flint napping, and we talked about primitive skills and stuff that people, like common knowledge, 150, 100 years ago that are completely like, people are struggling just to keep alive and maintain it. I'm going to talk this beer, and then we're going to get back into it. This is Allagash, and I think this is a Louisiana beer, right? I might be wrong. No. That is Avita's Louisiana.
Yeah, Allagash is
Maine.
yes.
From Maine, with love. Allagash. It's called Curcuma. Ale with fresh turmeric. Rip Jake's house. You right about that shit. Jake said I forgot about that. Yeah, he definitely wanted to start a fire in your garage, and your house burnt down 6 months later. It says turmeric or curcuma adds a hint of spice to this tropical, crispy saison-style ale. It says brewed with whole root lends all the subtle aspects of fresh turmeric. Its earthy notes and color to curcuma's dry and refreshing profile. It's a mixed in font. Let's just have white font on orange. Anytime it gets to the orange part, I'm like, and then add in reflection. But yeah. So this is Portland, Maine. And I'll show this one off. It says it's an ale, but then it says also on the back that it is a Saison style ale. I'll show that one off. Beautiful. Yeah, rip Jake's house. Sad times. You yawning over there?
Mm-mm.
You're off camera. Nobody saw it. It's okay.
I was trying to sneak one in before you flipped it back. This is past my bedtime.
Is it?
Yeah.
So she was like, fuck. You said till 12? I was like, yes. She's like, fuck. That's pretty late. Let's see if that's any louder.
There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
Oh, we're cooking.
All right, let's get back to it. I think it's this one, yes, this one, yes, this one. All right, so yes, let's try this one out. It says it's a Saison style. Turmeric, curcuma. It didn't specify what curcuma is and what language or what society, but apparently it's turmeric, Saison style. Oh, I dig it. Mm-hmm. That's like I ate a loaf of bread, which I'm doing like a keto thing, quasi keto, cutting back my bread. So this is kind of nice because I usually don't eat breads.
This is good.
We actually have a really good bready beer here, the Saison du Provence. Generally, if you guys didn't know, Saisons are Belgian style. They were created during the like colder season, and then they were stored, and everybody drank them basically in the summer. It's like a summer. It just means session or summer season in French. But yeah, Belgians love some Saisons.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these teas, because this is the newest part of your venture. It's what, all of 6-7 months?
Yeah, probably. That sounds about right.
Or would you say reef are newer?
6 or 7 months actually sounds pretty right. Yopon is what I started. My first tea I ever did is the Yopon tea, which is Yopon holly.
What is Yopon?
So it's a native holly tree. It's native to the United States, southern United States. It's not prickly like the Christmas hollies that we think about.
Right, with the little red berries and the spiky leaves.
But it does have the red berries, just not the glossy, spiky leaves.
I would never think to make that as a tea.
Yeah, so the only reason I knew to do that is because both the Cherokee Creek, Seminole were known to use the Yopon holly as a tea. They made something called black drink. It was a ceremonial drink that included tobacco and a lot of other plants that was used for specific ceremonies. It was so this plant is related to the yerba mate, which is like a very highly caffeinated
Argentina, yeah.
So that's their only relative in the United States is Yopon holly.
Yeah.
So highly energizing, but not in a coffee kind of a way.
Right. Yerba mate is like super bitter.
Yeah.
Super bitter. Like I usually have to blend it because just pure yerba mate is like so.
Because it's roasted, right? Isn't it roasted?
Well, when I had it, it was just like the chopped up minced leaves, and I had it in Morocco in a hostel. There was an Argentinian guy there, and he was just sucking away on his little straw, and I was like, "What are you drinking?" He's like, "Oh, yerba mate," and I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Here, try it." He's like, "In Argentina, everybody shares." So he pours some hot water. It's just like the bombilla, or no, the gourd, and it's just got the loose leaf tea in it. You pour hot water in it, and then you have a thing called a bombilla or a bombilla, and it's like a straw with a metal, like the tea strainer almost on the end of it, and you just drink out of it. But straight yerba mate is so bitter that I have to have blends.
Yeah.
So would you say that has some bitterness to it since it's a relative?
This has no bitterness. This has no tannins, which in a lot of black teas or even like red wines or things, you'll hear people throw around the word tannins. Tannins are what is the reason that you can't oversteep a black tea.
Right.
If you oversteep black tea, you get that bitterness where
Yeah.
it will almost make your stomach turn.
I almost threw up on the yerba mate.
Yeah, the tannins will really, but this, believe it or not, does not have tannins in it, so you cannot oversteep this. What we do with this tea is the traditional way that it was prepared by the Native Americans to add to the black drink. We don't know the ingredients of the ceremonial drink. But then also before the Civil War, this was also the type of tea that we drank. Before it was cool to start importing it from Britain, the Indian tea
Right.
from the Britain. So basically, this was like our black sweet tea before we started importing it.
Are there any like medicinal benefits
Yes,
of that?
there are. This is like chock full of antioxidants, specifically like Texas A&M University, LSU, a lot of different universities are doing some major studies on this because it will, it shows to kill leukemia cells, shows to kill colon cancer cells, and while also protecting the healthy ones. And so it's one of these very, like, it attacks free radicals, so it's going to be like the antioxidant. Anytime you see a darker colored kind of a tea or anything, you're going to have a lot of antioxidants.
Yeah.
Think berries or dark teas or things like that.
Right.
So while it is caffeinated, a lot of people want to avoid the caffeine and stuff. It's not going to be that jittery caffeinated feel you'll get from coffee. It's just a real steady buzz of energy that you'll get.
You could probably drink that in the way that you could yerba mate as well, right? You could probably throw a bunch of it in a gourd and pour some hot water in it.
That's how I do. I'll do it in a teacup. I'll put a teapot, and I'll put, a few tablespoons of it in there, hot water over it, and then I just pour it through a strainer into my cup. You can. It's strong and dark enough that people who've bought it before will just do it traditionally, like a British tea, and they'll do milk and sugar. I like to cool it down and ice it with like some lemongrass or something.
Is that your favorite tea right now?
No, this is my favorite tea. Segue into the next one.
Yeah.
Iolita's Tea Garden. This is all herbal, no caffeine, all grown in my herb garden or
So that's a mix.
gathered wild. Yeah, this is all gathered wild, the Yopon. Like within about 2 miles of my house, I gathered this and brought it home and roasted it. And then this was grown within like 20 feet of my doorstep. And then also the nettles I gathered from the woods. But this is a mixture of lemongrass, Tulsi basil, peppermint,
I do like peppermint,
spearmint, nettles, and lemon balm. And so
Yeah, so that's one of the things whenever I mentioned earlier, like off camera, about going to England and hanging out with that lady when she talked about the stinging nettles, but she also is like, if you cook them or you can make a tea out of them. And I was like, these things cause me physical pain, but you can make tea out of them. And she's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's good stuff.
yeah.
Jake says, I want fancy. Okay, Dan says, not a fan of saisons, but appreciate the history and use for the farm hands.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Jake says, I want fancy tea. Jake is a tea guy. He
Fancy tea.
before his house burnt down, he had a whole cabinet full of just fancy teas and teapots, Japanese, like the Japanese tea stuff. He was just super into it. I need to get some of that next time I'm down for sure. Well, Jake, if you
We would love to
if you
have
win the
you
contest that we have in about 12 minutes, you'll get it. $35. I mean, you can buy some tea with that. And
Yep.
just to know that the tea is actually like, it's not something that's sent from like Indonesia or made in a factory. Like, this is something that's all local, all handmade, homegrown. So you're
Yeah.
not going to get a more natural tea than that.
Nope. No, it's not certified organic just because I haven't certified it organic, but it is organic.
It's not like you're
No spray,
Yeah.
no chemicals.
I mean, getting something certified organic is just
It's a lot of hoops to jump through.
you're doing it just for that stamp so people can go,
Sure.
this is organic.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
organic. You see that? There's no chemicals, no pesticides. Like it's just for people wanting to. I mean, I don't see how you can make this and make it and not be organic.
Right.
Like with you gathering all of this yourself, you said some of this is like what 2 feet away from your house or something like that, 20 feet. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a 2 in there somewhere, and then some of this is 2 miles away. Like this is all locally sourced. You're getting tea kind of how people would have had it, 150, 200, 300 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, where else are you going to get that? Like any tea you buy, even if you go to like tea shops, chances are it's probably something that's mass produced and sent all over
Yeah.
the states.
And I will say that Morgan Brannon, another local gal here, she does Cosmic Twin Apothecary.
That's
Denthead's
Denthead,
wife.
yeah.
She makes great
Jordan's
teas.
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She makes great teas, which we found out we were in the 5th grade together, me and Morgan.
Y'all are pretty much family.
Exactly. And also herb ladies. But she makes really good teas as well.
Kyle said that sounds amazing with a little drooly face. Dan said rip Jake's teas, and Jake said the tea cabinet was fine. It was all sealed airtight, so it's good still.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Jake, let's give him a little. Only thing I don't like about this is it's not a fade to not being there. It's like, it's loud and all of a sudden it just doesn't exist.
Stop. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I thought every once in a while I could just throw something like that on there. Somebody say something silly, I'm like, oh, you're silly. Just gonna pop that in there. Hi from Argentina. Yeah, all right on. We were just talking about yerba mate. Hopefully you like some yerba mate. So I always pronounced it bombilla, but some people say bombilla. I don't know. Argentina guy, or girl. Sophie, Sophie, let us know. Sophie 4287. Yeah, I do like some yerba mate. I have a great blend at my house. I've got a couple of them. Yeah, I know that's how it's spelled. Do you pronounce it with a Y? Because that's how, in traditional Spanish, I would say bombilla. But some people say bombilla. With
Like the
this.
Castilian or whatever the
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like a Argentinian thing. I know when I was in Spain, southern Spain, everybody had a damn lisp. Not throwing any shade to you guys from Spain, but everybody had, it's bombilla. Yeah. Okay, right on. Now you guys know. Knowing's half the battle. What do you think about this beer?
I love it.
Yeah. I need I don't know if it would ever happen, but I love the idea. The laughing thing is perfect. Thank you. That thing is amazing. So, not that it's ever going to happen, but I would love the idea of having an actual like tea beer
Oh, yeah.
or something that comes some kind of collaboration, because you were here since the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
I know there was maybe some bad blood there for a little while. It happens. But, if you saw any of those guys, it would be just, everything would be all right.
Oh, I've seen them. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you're Gucci. as
Oh,
they
yeah,
say.
we're Gucci for sure.
Yeah, but I would love to, I mean, you have to make a shit ton of tea, but like,
Or just have a bunch of herbs, but we'll figure it out. We'll get some. We'll research whatever kind of herbs. I got plenty of stuff.
an herb tea
Yeah.
beer. An herb beer.
Yeah.
Well, which I think actually probably with a Saison was probably where it would work the best, because it's already got like a spicy breadiness to it. So to add, I don't know, that one right there with the peppermint and spearmint,
Yeah,
having a
or-
stout with the peppermint and spearmint in it.
Or lemongrass with an IPA or lemon balm and a Saison. I would love to do
An
something like that.
iolita IPA.
Because you remember we made that beer where it was with, I picked the pears from that grew on the pear tree out behind my house, and we made the pear beer here. Me and Kevin did.
What was it called?
Karina, with the Q. It was named after one of those old folk tales we were talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about Baba Yaga earlier.
But it was
That badass bitch, Baba Yaga. Shout out Baba Yaga if you're watching. Shout out.
You're crazy.
But no, I don't remember that beer.
Well, we made it for the Dames and Dregs thing up in Atlanta, and so we made like such a small amount of it that we only took them up to Atlanta. And
I'm kind of sad I missed it because I feel like I've had almost every beer that Pretoria's ever put out in the 3 years that they've been around. I've got cans from all kinds of funky shit that just doesn't exist anymore.
It was a Belgian pear. It was a pear Belgian pale ale.
The bitch was good.
It was really good.
You should have gotten a crowler of it.
I did, and I took it home, and me and Mom drank it.
No, you should have saved it for or taken a picture of it just for.
It was like when we first did the new releases though, and we had like a half of a
Oh yeah, the little sixtel
or whatever. And so I went and I was like, before we put this on, I'm gonna go get me and literally I filled the crowler up and had a 10-ounce pour, and that it blew on the 10-ounce pour.
She always takes, she's never had any kind of fear about just taking because
shut up.
her first like shift here, it wasn't even a shift.
I was given.
Like literally Albert came in, which Albert's not with us anymore either. We're all, I think it's what, Shelby with us, right? Yeah, Shelby's there. It's you,
just
me,
all
Shelby. I was trying to think who else was there.
Mary,
you there? I feel like there was like at least 4 or 5 people there, but I think that maybe
Colin
Colin went there whenever we first. Colin came a little bit later because after we'd already opened up a bit, I was like, dude, this place is fucking awesome. Like, I know you probably make more at Mellow,
so awesome.
But I'm like, this place is awesome. We can sit behind here. We can literally talk to the customers and drink beer with the customers.
Yeah, they were so cool to let us just like.
They still do.
Drink beer, man.
Yeah, they still do. But I miss a Pretoria beer. You missed a lot of Pretoria beers. I'm sure there's a shit ton. I have a can at the house that's unopened, which, I mean, it's trash now. I would never open it. But I've got the Fruit Factory can. I've got the, what's it called, Field of Opportunities? I have that can. They had one, the All Saint Lang, or whatever, what was it called?
Auld
Lang Syne?
I haven't had that one.
That was their New Year's beer like 2 years ago. It was a stout. I've got a bottle of that, and then I've got the Oglethorpe can. It looks kind of like that Slappy can, and I've got one of those, but it was red instead of the green. And a bunch of cans that are like flipped, like where they went through upside down.
Yeah, there's been some good beers out of here for sure.
And there's been some trash beer too. It's a trial and error, Like a lot of the guys we bring in back here, there's just been a shit ton back there. Like we've had Colin and Austin and Travis and Kevin and Eric and there's that one guy who when we first opened that went to Guinness.
Yeah.
There's got to be more than that, right?
It's been a lot.
Yeah.
Folks.
Did you ever have the 53 footer when it came out?
No.
The footer? The sour that they aged for like a year and a half?
No. Was it good?
Out? Oh yeah. The bitch was sour though.
I love those things.
So it wasn't like a kettle sour like the berry goza.
Right, it was like a long time sour. Like that was what they were putting in the trailer out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in white wine oak barrels. That bitch was good.
I bet it was.
Trial and error is a fun part of brewing. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's where that ramen beer came from, trial and error. It didn't turn out too well.
I remember when we had the snacky cakes.
I'm trying to remember what that was.
They used
zebra
all
cakes?
of the...
Yeah, it was zebra cakes.
Dude, that was good though.
It was
You
super
didn't
sweet
like
though.
it?
It was super sweet. I remember it being
loved
really
it.
sweet. So I'm gonna get back. Says the non-footer. Yeah, they're not gonna have another 53 footer. I thought they would, but not anytime soon. I think the barrels and stuff that they had, so they put some of it out, and then they kept some of it in the barrels to age it and added some more new, and then they're going to let it age for another year or so.
Kind of a blended.
Yeah, some old cultures and some new cultures, but something happened with it and it all got ruined. So we've talked about Yupon, Yopon tea, and Iolita's tea garden. So where do you sell these? So if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, or if they wanted to find a location, I know that I see you sell a lot because I see your Cash App or your Venmo.
Well, I sell, so I'll go to local markets, which recently I've been going from Tifton to Valdosta or Hayhira. But if you wanted to purchase this tea, you can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. Ask me what I have available. I'm getting my Etsy and my website up, but right now, just hit me up and I'll be able to let you know what I have available.
Right on.
I have plenty of these teas and I can always make it.
Do you want to talk about your price point, or do you want to just? Is it
These
vary?
teas, I mean, it varies, but right now these teas are $8 a piece, and so you could probably get, probably 6 or more pots out of that.
Pots?
Like little.
Yeah, I mean,
like
that's still a
2
good
or 3
bit, man.
cup. Yeah.
I mean, when I go to like Walmart and I buy it's not decent coffee because it's Walmart coffee, but if I buy it, most of it's probably like $8, $7 to $8 for most of the bags of coffee.
Yeah, the
That's
thing
pretty
about it
reasonable for
is,
a good tea, especially for a locally sourced and not registered organic, because it's annoying and what's the point? But pretty
it's
much
like-
organic. You're not using any
yeah.
kind of pesticides and.
It's like when we talk about beer, it's like we have seen beer being made, but all our lives we grew up and beer was just at the store. But now we see how much grain goes into beer, how much time goes into
Right.
beer, how much cleaning and
We're seeing the overhead.
right. And so the same goes with tea or coffee. It's something
Yeah.
that we can go to the store and get off the shelf and count on being in our cabinet every single morning when we get up to use it. But you don't think about the work that goes
Right.
into the harvesting and the processing and the storing and the packaging and the shipping. And so that's what tea has taught me is tea has a long history of slave labor. And it's because it is so labor intensive and it takes up so much of your day. It's a lot of output to make something that people want to drink very consistently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just opens your eyes to all of the different, just like we were talking about podcasts, it's like there's so much that goes into it. So.
And I think you have a very reasonable price point as well. Like when you think about a competitor's price, you think about where they source it, and then mass produced in factories, and quality control is an issue. The idea that these are all locally sourced and you're getting just better quality. I like that what goes into it. I mean, each one of these are handwritten, and
I know,
you
I'm
have
crazy.
you have stamps and stuff on them. That was a stamp, yeah.
Yep. That Brittany Ray actually made.
Shout out Brittany Ray. I've had her on the show.
Yep, that's right.
Broken Hearted Bakery.
Yep.
Definitely. David definitely wants to try some of the teas. So
Awesome.
David Furman, yeah, David and Lisa Furman.
Oh yeah, I love David and Lisa.
You remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have been coming here for a long time. Says spring for a good locally sourced, so organic, not registered tea. I agree. And somebody tonight is going to win that. So I did say at 11 o'clock.
One lucky winner.
What I'm going to do at 11:05 on the dot, okay? Not 11:04. Y'all check y'all's time. It's 11:03 currently. At 11:05, the first person that says, "Give me that motherfucking money," or "Bitch, where's my money?"
Okay, which one is it?
Either one.
Okay.
Where my motherfucking money? Bitch, give me my money. First person who types that on the dot at 11:05, you get $35 gift card. Gift credit, gift certificate, whatever you want to call it, same shit. You can come and you can get some of this wonderful, I've got a 50-50 chance. Peppermint and spearmint.
Oh.
Peppermint and spearmint. The tea garden. I keep wanting to like bust this open and smell it.
Do it.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
No, I have more.
No, you can't sell it then. I mean, there's money that goes into all this. Everything from the packaging
Well, I'll
to
drink
the ceiling.
it. I'll drink it.
Nah. There'd be no point in me doing that other than just for my own enjoyment, and I would never do that. We'll bust open a beer instead and enjoy the smell of that.
All right, let's see. Let's do the
11:04. First person that says anything like, bitch, give me my money, where's my money at? First person that pops in the chat with that, you get it.
Oh, another Allagash.
We have another Allagash?
Yeah.
Allagash.
We're just waiting on it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting it out. I'm excited to see who's going to get it. You can say, bitch, give me that tea. Where's my money? Pretty much anything along that line. I'll beat your ass for some tea.
Everybody's typing it in and just waiting to hit enter right
Pretty
now.
much. First person who gets it. Oh, Kyle. What's up,
Yes.
Kyle? Bitch, where's my money? Congratulations, Kyle. $35.
Where's the clap reel?
Yeah.
Oh, the clap reel. Woo!
Congratulations.
Let's see. Look at Dan.
Bitch, give me my money for some tea. You missed it. You're late. Dan, you're late. Thank you. Yes, give me the canned laugh. You got it. Congratulations. You missed it, Dan. So yeah, just get in contact with her, and you've got $35 to work it out. If you just want to buy all tea, you're more than welcome. You can buy a lot of tea for that, because that's such a great price on the tea that you can be loaded up on your tea. Congratulations, Kyle.
Yay.
Jake T, you missed it. You missed it, Jake. I could have. If you would have won, I would have had some of that. I would have brought it when I come on the 9th, and you would have had tea, but you missed it.
And where's Jake?
He's in Nashville.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's based on the hours, he's probably at Stringjoy making bass strings. He also works for Glazer Instruments, and they work on some really famous people's guitars. I kind of get a little jealous because Jake gets to meet these people, and Jake's so like, well, whatever. You know, going in and meeting like Haley Williams, Paramore. He's like, hey, what's up? What you need fixed? ZZ Top comes in. Peter Frampton. He's like, hey, what's up? Bonamasso, what's up? Hey, what's going on? What you need fixed? Tommy Emmanuel. Yeah, I'm working. Yeah, I figured. That's why you missed it, you sack of shit. You could have won that. I'll let you choose the next one. And I'm going to have you read it off. And I'm a piece of shit, and I can.
All right. This is the Little Groove by Allagash. I'm gonna go put it in the little frame over there. And it is a sparkling session ale with black currants, 3.8% alcohol by volume, 100 calories per can.
Did you explain the beer?
Yeah, I did.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Michael Crane, what's up? Hey, stop that. Jake's tea loss. Hey Brandon, hope all is well. Michael Crane, yeah man, everything's good. Diet beer. What is
Well,
this?
it said 100 calories per can, so I read that.
Little Grove, Allagash. It said it was a sparkling session.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
So
getting
it's
some
like
hop.
It's very hoppy.
I'm getting some hop in there. Let's
It's
give
like
that-
the Slappy.
Give that a little try.
Reminds me of the Slappy.
Which would you say
The
is better?
Mosaic.
We'll show you guys the can a little bit.
Well, I would say the Slappy is better because Travis brewed the Slappy.
True.
And I adore him.
I actually, so he lives in Nashville now. And one of the last times I went to Nashville, I think it went the last 2 or 3 trips ago, I brought him a bottle of that 53 footer because he started that. That was
Right,
was
yeah.
his baby, and he left before it came into fruition. So I brought him some, and he was like, "Dude, is that my fucking beer?" And I was like, "It is." So I don't know if he's actually drank it yet, but I'll have to go home and see how many bottles I have left. I think I owe Riley Anderson a bottle or 2, maybe. I think I only have like 2 or 3 bottles left. I got 2 of them I wax sealed myself, and I put like a little bee stamp with wax on it, make it look all pretty, and just keep it forever while it just turns into complete
Don't
mush.
keep it forever.
It turns into complete mush. I don't know.
You gotta drink it.
I've drank so many of them. I bought 12 of them when they first came out. So I got my
That's what I
discount.
did with the tequila barrel aged.
Oh yeah, the
Goza.
Sacagawea? No,
The Suiga.
Suega. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. No, it was like
No, they
drinking a
definitely wouldn't call it
margarita.
Sacagawea. They learned their lesson because
With
they
what was
they
it?
had their like
Oh.
hat and their logo.
Well, they had a Plains Indian headdress on.
a skull, right?
Yeah,
Was that what it was? A
yeah,
skull?
and it was a Plains Indian
They were like,
headdress.
yeah, I think that's cool. And they had a couple of them made, and people were like,
Well,
like,
no,
the-
the Savannah company wouldn't print it. They said we'll get in so much trouble we can't
Oh.
print that.
I thought that people here were like,
Well,
Like employees were like,
a couple of folks were.
don't do that shit.
But
He did
hey,
drink it like yesterday. I saw a post on his Insta. Who are you talking about, Jake? He says he did. Oh, Travis.
Oh,
I missed it. Son of a bitch. That thing was aged for 1.5 years in white wine oak barrels. If you guys want to see the beer again, y'all let me know. I'll show it to you. Just in case you want me to go back to the beer can. I don't know. I think this is too much, but maybe it's corny.
what?
This, I've got these like tap handles off to the side filling beer, and I got beer up top that like cycles through hops and barley and wheat, and I got my logo. So just to kind of show it, and then the bubbling beer in the back. Maybe it's too much. I don't know. I'm doing it all by myself. It's a learning process.
I dig it.
This beer is pretty good though. I
It
do
is
think the
good.
Slappy's better, but I don't know. So
This
is it
is
mosaic?
balanced with the fruity.
Is it mosaic
It's
hops?
gotta be mosaic. I'm gonna
Smells
go. I gotta
mosaic-y.
look. It's gotta be mosaic. Tell us.
Nope. Keep it on, Lauren.
Let's see. No, it doesn't say.
So it does say what, sparkling?
Well, where'd you see IPA on it?
It says session, so I usually associate session with an IPA, and because session ale is a session, it's basically like a light IPA.
Yeah, it's something you can drink. It's definitely got hops in it, but it doesn't say anything about hops on the can.
It definitely got it. It's good.
It is good.
I would say that our Slappy, is a little bit more mosaic-y, if that's the phrase. Mosaic. It's
Yeah, this
definitely
is
a lot more
kind of like
mosaic.
a rosé mixed with a mosaic.
I mean, it's easy drinking. Like you could buy,
Definitely.
if it existed in a 12-pack, you could probably drink a shit ton of these and be good to go. You said it was lighter, right, in calories, so it's
Yeah.
probably lighter in ABV too, yeah?
It's like 3.8.
Ooh, there's nothing there.
No,
It's Bud Light.
just
now.
hydrating at this point.
This would be a lawnmower beer. This would be out by the pool or on the beach, or kayak, a hike. If you want a beer, but you don't want to get slammered, you get this one. It's refreshing.
It is good.
It's nice and bubbly.
They did a good job with
Again, Kyle, congratulations. Make sure you hit her up. You can hit her up on Facebook. You can hit her up on Instagram, either her actual profile or her or the wild herbs of iolita.
I'll hook it up, Kyle.
Any of that. And I don't think we mentioned that. Where can people get in contact with you?
Instagram and Facebook. You just got to message me. I'm getting the Etsy and the Squarespace set up. It's taking me a while.
You should have done a collaboration with Austin while he was here, right? You remember Austin?
Yeah, Austin did that video and stuff. Yeah, he's helped me out a lot.
Yeah, but no, do a boudoir, an herby boudoir.
No.
You don't have to necessarily do it with you.
I know.
It could be your stuff.
No, I have.
But covering up women like Venus.
Well, of course, I would be into that. I thought
And
you
just
were
have her-
meaning for like branding or some shit.
No.
No,
It's just
I
like,
would love
could-
to do that.
I could see like
I would love to be behind the scenes providing all the plants and everything.
right, have a woman sitting there with
Flowers in
a
the
teacup and a
Yes.
flower in her hair and a teacup, and you see the steam coming off the teacup, and she's wearing like a.
Well, I'll just have to go to North Carolina and help.
That is true.
Because they've
That's
got a
really
really
nice up there.
magical looking yard in their new spot.
Yeah, they bought a house over there. Thank you so much. I definitely will. I'm so excited. So, Kyle, have you bought anything from her yet?
I
You probably
believe
know,
she
yeah.
has. Yes, she's gotten bundles before.
Now you're gonna get some tea, yeah? I mean, you don't
think
have to.
she-
It's $35. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yep.
But the tea sounds nice. I'm drawn to the peppermint and spearmint one because I'm a huge fan of peppermint and spearmint. So that's when I was like,
This is good stuff. I'm proud of this blend for sure.
I wonder what you would have to do. So there's not really a demand for it here, like to make it a mate, like make it a yerba mate. There's blends you can do.
Yeah.
And blend that with a good quality yerba mate. But
And it would
I
offset
don't
the
think
flavor.
mate grows anywhere around here. Like you wouldn't be able to really get it. So and then
I'd
there,
have to use the green yopon leaves.
and there really wouldn't be much of a demand for it. Like anytime I mention it, people are like, "Oh yeah, I bought one of those at Kroger. Like last time I was there. It's in a little plastic bottle, right? Yerba mate."
Yeah, right. It's like in the.
I was like, "No,
This is yours, so smell it.
it's not mine."
Yes, it is. Take it. I'm gonna. This is a.
Love, love, love your bundles. I've been staying away from white sage since I educated myself on it.
All right, now smell.
Why'd you?
Because that's your bag of tea, so you can smell it. Does that smell good or no?
It smells nice and minty.
A little bit of lemon.
Oh, I dig it.
It's good.
So if you guys didn't notice, I'll pan to the side. You see that big nose? It loves. I just like. I breathed in. You see it? Yeah, I just snorted it up.
It's not that kind of thing. So,
I'm sure I still get
does
benefits,
it smell
right?
good to you?
Oh, it smells amazing.
You should make you a tea with it.
I am. So what I might do is I've got some good yerba mate at the house. I'm going to drink this by itself. If this is mine,
It's yours.
thank you. I'm going to drink this by itself, and then I'm also going to blend it with my yerba mate. I've got
I think that's a great
four
idea.
different kinds of yerba mate, and I don't like yerba mate on its own, but when it's blended with tea, it's really good. Tea huffing. That's exactly what it is. So nice. So nice to have ethnically sourced stuff available locally. Yeah, true. So we mentioned that you were on Facebook and Instagram, but we didn't mention where. What's your preferred method if somebody wants to buy, a bundle, if they want to buy tea, a wreath?
The way that I have just been doing it in the past is just about once a week, like maybe twice a week, I'll post what is available. And throughout the week, if I have anybody ever being like, how can I order this or whatever, I'll just ask that you send me a message, tell me what you're interested in. The thing is that if I don't have it in stock, it's readily available, and I can go out and make it. So if you're interested in anything specifically that you've seen or have an idea about, just message me and we'll go from there. That's just kind of how, informal it is.
Yeah.
Just kind of like.
I'd love to see people using your product. So I like photography, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to push since probably almost 3 years of being here, some kind of photography contest through Pretoria, whether they have it once a month or every other month.
Yes, I know.
But I would love to have something like that with you, that post your favorite photo or post the best photo of anything of your product. So have somebody doing a videography. People do crazy videos, and just having people putting the tea in, or having somebody with burning sage and their best photo of it, or the best photo of one of the wreaths that you sell, and having like a contest that you'll get, because it's not going to be negative for you. They're going to end up having to buy your product to be able to take the photo, and it benefits them because you're going to share their photo. You're going to pick one and share their photo on your social media.
Yeah.
And if they're into both your product and photography, then it's like a symbiotic kind of thing.
I'd love, I've never done a giveaway, and I would like to do that. I've never done something like that on my page. So.
Old Tony Singletary.
What's up, Tony?
Tony motherfucking Singletary. What TMF?
Hey,
TMFS? Tony motherfucking Singletary. T-Love. Hi, Lauren. Great to see you again. Word up, Brandini. What's up? Tony and I went to Vegas. I don't know if you caught that trip.
Nice. No, I didn't.
That was a wild. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Just that movie.
Y'all went wild over there?
Yes. Went through Utah and went through Death Valley and Vegas. It was wild times. It was wild to see Tony cut loose. Kyle said, Dan said, I gotta go back further than that. Todd Reynolds.
Hey, Todd.
I love Lauren. Great show.
Love you too, Todd.
Todd is with the Secondhand Smokes. He said he wants to come up with is it a candle or a scent or a spray? He says that like growing up, everybody smoked cigarettes, and that secondhand smoke smell, he wants to like bring it back.
Dude, I'm with you on that.
And he says secondhand smokes. And I was like, well, what if somebody comes up with thirdhand smokes? And he's like, no, they're not going to do that.
Specifically the smell when it's cold outside and there's like maybe a fire or somebody's grilling and everybody's out there, and then somebody's smoking a cigarette and they come inside.
That secondhand smoke.
They come in with the cold on them, and then you get that cigarette. That's a good smell.
Especially as a PF
You gotta admit
alum. The stuff you did for a wedding recently was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Wedding?
I did a wedding for Haley Markham
Haley.
in May, and then I did the one before that one would have been Roxy's wedding. The one before that one would have been Sarah Moriarty's wedding.
Damn. All right. So if somebody has wedding,
I've done three. I've done 3 small weddings. So those have been like my favorite thing to do is like a
he
small
says
wedding.
throwing out 7 different kinds of smoke. Secondhand smokes. Jake said that's a great idea. Secondhand all day. Fucking Todd. Todd said he's saving up his money. Soon Todd is going to be a world traveler. He's going to travel all over the world.
Are you going to keep your home base in Albany?
I mean, cost of living is really cheap here. Like once I get this Nashville house, I'm going to look into probably buying a house here in Albany. The 5-bedroom house that I have here now, I think, and it's a beautiful house. I think it's less than $100,000, like total.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That would be a $500,000 or $600,000 house in Nashville. With how the house looks, easy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyways, most likely, he says he's going to keep this as a home base.
Good.
I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. I was going to do this.
Albany is my blood.
Forever.
Oh.
So I have a separate screen, and I think in the future I'm going to buy this thing that's going to allow me to put it on the side, have my screen here, have a screen there for you, and have the camera there in the middle with a microphone coming down. That way people can see, when comments come in, and I can just put comments off to the side where we both can see comments. Soon. Albany's in my blood forever. That was like a fake commercial break. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dan, he's not giving you.
I want to have the, back in the days in like the 1930s and 40s, I think all the way up to probably the 70s or 80s, they had the Native American screen test. You'd see like the Native American guy in the middle with the headdress, and it was like just synonymous with like either something being down or technical difficulties or a break or intermission.
Really?
And it would have, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
You do.
I mean, I will once I see it, but I don't right now. Yeah, how do you Google that?
Intermission screen, old images. It's not going to be the one that's like, let's go out to the kitchen. Because I'm sure everybody's seen that one. You've seen that, yeah?
Mm-mm.
The Please Stand By?
Mm-mm. I've never seen that before.
It's been around since the beginning of TV. And it's, this means nothing to us, but to anybody who's working, that means a lot. There's a lot of information in there that...
Huh.
But I wanted to have like that pop in, and then it'd be like that little like intermission song, but then it's copyrighted, so I couldn't do it. You wanted to see that again? All right. There you go. You missed it at the very beginning, so. Anytime I do that, it sounds like it's going to be like, what would we say he was? Jerry Springer. Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Springer.
This is like...
Maury.
This encapsulates Jerry Springer all the way.
And then with me getting up to walk out, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah?
I'll be right back.
Cool. While you're doing that, okay, so Jake says, yeah, old water conversation PSAs out from out west. No, those used to be on all TV. So back in the days, if they were like technical difficulties or whatever, it would have that. Have that. Yay! I want to see the commercial. It says we need random '80s infomercial ads. Jake and I actually wanted to do that. We wanted to have like little intermission things where we can hit a button, and if like both of us had to use the bathroom, if we drank a lot of beer and it just went through us pretty quick, that we could pop that up and it would be just something silly. And it still might happen because I am moving to Nashville. Random 80s ad for stuff that's now defunct. That would be great. I could do that. And then just, instead of having like, here with Brondo, the salad spinner, and just have where my voice just comes in, here with trade skills, salad spinner, and just do it like that maybe. I don't know. It's something for the future. I've definitely thought about it. You guys should mute the mics and act like your news anchors talking. You guys should mute the mics. Random ads that public domain because the company died, like preparing for a nuclear blast PSA. Yeah? Well, we already got fake laughs. Or yeah, you can do, if you guys, so R.I.P. Conan O'Brien, that was my fucking dude. But if you guys watched his first episode, his like nervous laugh that he had was hilarious. We could actually do that. Yeah, I agree. So I don't understand Adobe Premiere or the video maker, so I would love to set up. They're saying that I should, for the show, during these like intermissions where somebody has to use the bathroom, have like these 80s, like shitty 80s commercials for companies that don't exist anymore.
I'd love that.
And I can just replace it, so it's like, instead of Brondo salad spinner.
That would be good.
Just say, trade skills salad spinner, Ron Burgundy. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. How about real laughs? Those are hard to get. We trying to say my show is boring, man? It's fucked up. Better take that shit back. That's all I'm saying. So I think we should do the stout last.
Okay.
So what's this beer called?
The Baratza.
Baratza.
Apple and quince sour.
Yeah, I had to ask her at the very beginning because I didn't know what that was, and she explained it to me.
A quince? Does
Yes.
anybody know what a quince is? Quince?
First person who says it gets a shout out. That's it though, because somebody's already won. Kyle, congratulations again.
I knew she was going to win too.
Did you?
Did you?
No.
I did.
I thought Dan was going to come in. Past my bedtime too. Enjoyed watching y'all. Thank you, Lauren and Brandon.
Good night, Kyle.
Thank you for
Thank
tuning
you.
Steady Hand. They make good beer, and I
Ooh.
think they're a Georgia brewery. So
Oh, my
you don't have to worry about it. Handcrafted in Atlanta. Steadyhand.com. Steadyhandbeer.com. 5.8%. Atlanta, Georgia, and it is a sour. You said it's related to what fruit?
Pears.
Pear. So it's almost like an apple and pear sour. I'm assuming they're different because if they weren't, why even give it a different name?
Well, more technicality. I think most people would walk by and call it a pear tree, but it's technically a quince.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
What the hell's a quince? She just said it. Good night. Have a good night, Kyle. Is it like a gooseberry?
No.
No. Pear, you said, right?
It's just it's a pear.
Okay, I'm gonna put this up on the beer cam for you guys to see.
Smells good.
And explain some of these things. Point to them, I guess. I hate for you to get up again.
What?
But on this camera here. Point to some of the things that are here. And you can't really explain it because they can't hear you from there. We'll try it.
Here. We'll start with the bun. Or let's see. We'll start with the wreath. You can talk for me.
It's actually picking you up pretty well, I think.
All right, cool. So this is a wreath. Is it looking good?
Yeah, put it in front of the beer.
This is a cute little mini wreath that my mama made. We make little wreaths out of grapevines and flowers that we grow and dry. These are the bundles that I make for burning, and they all have different herbs in them for specific reasons. And you can open the tag up if you ever were to get a bundle. See what herbs are on the inside of it.
All of these are handwritten and hand created.
Yep. So yeah, that's all of my little herb bundles. Then we've got some flowers that we grew at the flower farm, and then Tulsi basil and lemongrass. So little stovetop steam with eucalyptus like you like, and you take one of them too.
I'm not going to take all your stuff.
Take it. I was going to give y'all stuff anyway
Add H2O and simmer.
on your stove.
So unrelated to your business, but slightly related, but I don't want to add any bad beef to your business. Could I use this, and would there be any medicinal uses as a butt plug?
You're awful.
I mean, it's getting around.
Well, why don't you just report back? I've not had any.
That smell is nice.
Report back.
Wild herbs of iolita butt plugs. The most organic and medicinal butt plugs you could ever have.
You're awful.
What? She's like, fuck, if I known you were going to talk about this shit, I never would have
I'm
brought
sorry,
it.
Mom.
Is your mom watching? Hey, Lauren, what are some of the poisonous flowers in southeast, southwest region, if there are any, that people should watch out for?
Okay, so poisonous as far as, have you ever heard of poke salad, pokeberry?
Like
They're like,
P-O-K-E?
yeah. That is one thing that children have, they'll eat these berries. They're nice, pretty little purplish red berries. You'll get sick from it. You
bit of
won't
bubble gut.
die.
Little bubble gut.
but it usually will send you to the hospital as a child. Children like to eat them, not knowing what they are. But other than like poison ivy, sumac, oak, and then some people are like a little sensitive to Virginia creeper. There's just not that much to be afraid of. Like
Until
as
you get
far
into the
as
mushrooms.
the mushrooms, absolutely. You've got to be very sure on that. But
There's probably only a handful of like edible ones here.
I've been going off into doing that. I found chanterelles, the
I didn't know we
indigo.
had chanterelles here.
Oh, dude, so many chanterelles.
When I was in
So many
Canada,
chanterelles.
I was on Vancouver Island. One of the guys I went with, he was really big into a lot of this, and he was just going through and just picking stuff off. He was picking stuff off trees and branches and eating
Yeah.
stuff and grabbing chanterelles and eating them. He says, "What the fuck, Brandon?" That's Dan. When I was talking about it being a medicinal butt plug. These things are important. Go straight to your bloodstream. Very important. Says Brandon, so uncouth. Jake says, I know those. Is he talking about the butt plugs? I bet. I was one of those kids. Butt plugs again. Cow patties only. Oh, those are the good mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cybacillin or whatever.
Lauren's been experimenting with those.
For science. Those are good.
The,
those are good.
The cows that live on my property are Salt Lick, and if y'all know anything about mushrooms, then you know that if they're Salt Lick, there are no
good.
magic mushrooms in the poo.
That's too bad. Those are good, but they are illegal here, so don't do it. If you do it, don't let a cop know.
Don't post about it.
Yeah, don't look at your phone. Don't look in the mirror.
Go sit by a river somewhere.
Yeah, go out in nature. Look at the moon. Watch Netflix on the moon.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. I did that quiet on the mic. Jake was like, I hate this drug. Anyways, let's get into the beer.
It's really good.
Let's show it again. Baratza.
It's kind of spicy. Like cinnamony.
Oh, that's got something funky to it. What did we say this was?
Apple
Sour.
quince.
Yeah. Apple and a pear
Quince.
off.
Well, quince or pear will always impart that like cinnamony, baked good, tart kind of a taste. Like
Dig it.
get a little bit of that nutmeg or cinnamon in it. I do at least.
What would be cool? Because I'm always thinking. So with businesses, I love collaborations, and I've talked about it with most guests I've had on that had businesses about collaborations. I don't know though. I don't know about the legality of it. I was thinking of like having, because you know Brittany, you've already done some stuff with Brittany. Y'all are palsies. Having your tea there.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I think that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's like it's
But I don't know the legality of it.
yeah, it's hard when I think it would just be a matter of like me going and having that conversation and us figuring it out, but or with not just with Brittany, but with anybody like that, like a small business, bakery, coffee shop, or whatever. And really, it's just when you just got me and my mom, but it's like it's hard to keep up. Sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt. Adding so much extra stuff, like you were just making the bundles at first, and I could tell from your Cash App, Venmo, whatever, PayPal, that you were busy.
Yeah.
And you probably couldn't keep up with demand. There was probably just, I mean, I would see you meeting people sometimes outside of Victoria, like.
Yeah. And it's been just amazing that whole support. So, but it's not that I couldn't do it. It's that right now it's so much to keep up with the
what you have.
summertime,
Yeah.
watering and gathering and going to the Saturday markets, that it's like whenever I get a lull, I would love to go out and like bring some tea samples, or actually was talking about corks and corks.
Mm-hmm.
Because they use all sorts of like local stuff
Yeah.
apparently, and it's like they would probably love to use some herbs and things. But yeah, it's
or-
all directions. You can go in so many directions.
Or like a coffee shop, like Temp that sells a lot of like
Yeah.
local. I think they use Lucky Goat. I think maybe that's Tallahassee. It's not super
Yeah.
close, but I mean,
Regional.
it's still a ma and pa, coffee shop, and them having like it's not a stretch to have, like
Sure.
locally sourced tea,
Yeah.
and they have everything to do it with. That'd be awesome, but like you said, like you have so much on your plate right now, and it's just the two of you guys. That maybe something for a future venture is possible, but
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's like every year we add on a little bit more. Last year it was like, okay, now I kind of maybe understand what we might be looking at. And then this year it's like, all right, I'm going to clear this much land and I'm going to have this many plants and I'm going to start all these seeds. And now it's like every year you figure out what it's going to take to keep up.
yeah.
And like so I'm making probably triple or more product than I was making my first 6 months.
And you were pounding it out that first 6 months.
But now it's like
Find her.
7:30 in the morning
Instagram, find her.
until 8 at night doing something.
Yeah, she's actually probably a couple hours past her bedtime.
Yeah, I'm usually sleeping like a baby on a cloud at about 9:30.
Says they're using Broken Hearted Bakery stuff now, so tea wouldn't be too much of a stretch. He's talking about at Temp, because Jake used to work at Temp for a while.
Oh, cool.
He worked there for a while. He says they like to go as local as they can.
Gotta just get it
I wonder
out there.
what it would take. Like I keep saying, the
You need
legality
to,
of it.
You are a very good making connections. You would be you would be like taking this even a step further and like putting people in contact.
I can do
you're
that.
you're like
I
really
actually-
good at there. It takes like really creative people and really driven people, and then it takes really creative, really driven people that helps push that out. Like give people.
I talked to Catherine today. Her and a bunch of the other members at Temp were trying to make a kind of like a root beer float, but with wine and berries and ice cream. But and Jake's really close to them as well. He worked with them for years, so it wouldn't be a stretch to have your tea in there.
No.
And really, all they would
And I
need to
love
do
them.
is this.
Yeah, I love them too.
Could you make this on a larger scale?
Yeah.
I mean, all you need is just a bigger bag, and then. The
Well,
stamp is still
I
good.
would just probably
A lot more handwriting.
sell it to them big, and then they would make their own drinks from it. I'm
Right.
sure. But yeah, Catherine and Heather Ashbury, and
I don't know.
I
Is she
mean,
still with them? I'm not sure.
she is, but she's going to be moving to Savannah soon.
She's a very driven, artsy person.
Driven and artsy, but also like gets all of the other artsy folks, like she like pulls them out of their shell and it's like, hey, there's a pop-up, or hey, have you.
Yeah.
And so she's always been really good about that. But yeah, Catherine, yeah, it's good people over there doing good stuff in Albany.
I don't think that would actually be any, other than just getting all of this together to make a bigger order. I don't think it's going to be too much more on you, because you don't have to worry about.
Oh, I
the
just put together a
packaging
big bag for them. You know
like
what
a
I mean?
gallon-sized Ziploc bag.
And they would just have that blend, or it just, there's so many places to go. for
Enjoy
sure.
hot or cold.
Yep.
1 or 2 teaspoons. Boiling cup of H2O. I like that you specified H2O.
Water, H2O. It's less writing.
I see. I'm infatuated with the smell. I'm a smell guy, and it smells great. It smells really good. I almost want to make a salad and eat it. But I know that would taste rough.
No.
In its raw form, it's probably
It
extremely
dried,
bitter.
it would be rough. It's probably tastes pretty good, but it'd be just hard to chew up.
Bet.
Don't do it.
Why?
It'll be fine.
Is that
It'll be
enough?
fine. That's a little much. Do a little pinch. Start off with. It's not gonna go well. It's way better with the tea.
It's like when the cop pulls up behind you and you got to eat a lot
Yeah,
of dry.
exactly. You wouldn't have listened to me if I said it was
No, the
a bad
lemon is
idea.
really in there.
Yeah.
That lemon is
Major,
nice.
right?
I feel like I'm going to make tea with my own
Yeah.
98.6
I can
degrees.
smell your
Yeah?
breath.
It's probably a lot better than the breath that she was smelling earlier.
It really does smell pretty good.
I'm getting the mint. I'm getting the spearmint. This is really nice. I could probably put that, if I was country as fuck, I could probably put that in my bottom lip.
Country as fuck.
If I was country as fuck, I
Dip.
probably could put that and make it into a dip. That's quite pleasant. My breath smells nice.
It does.
What would it take to make organic perfumes? Because you've always smelled nice.
Perfumes would be a distillation process that requires something similar to a copper still when you make moonshine.
So it's just extra overhead for you guys to worry about. Maybe year 4.
Oh, I've been looking.
Year 4.
I've been looking at these beautiful, like old Portuguese.
I mean, if you're
copper.
gonna make perfume, you need to watch the movie Perfume to really understand.
I've
the
never
process.
seen that.
I could tell just by your response that you hadn't seen it. Don't watch it. I'm just fucking with you. It was actually one of Kurt Cobain's favorite books, and they made a movie out of it that's got Alan Rickman in it. Snape.
Love him.
It's about a guy who was born with an extraordinary nose, and he can smell everything and smell exactly what goes into it. But he's really poor. His mother was a fishmonger. She was like she chopped up
Yeah.
fish in a market, and she's always had stillborns. And this particular moment when she had him, she was chopping fish, and she was like, she's always had stillborns, so he just squeezed them out and just kept back to chopping.
What?
And this kid had a will to live, so he started crying, and then the cops showed up. This is like back in like the late 1800s, probably, maybe even working into the 1700s, but I'm thinking 1800s. Baby starts crying, so the mother gets put to death for basically like neglecting this, because
Jeez.
he was pretty much born in the mud of France.
Yeah.
And next to this fish, he's got fish juices all over him. He gets basically, like spoilers, he gets obsessed with this woman, this vendor who sells oranges, and the orange oils and stuff is just like taking over her skin and her hair and everything, and that's all he smells. And he kills her accidentally. And so he makes it his life goal to find out how to make perfume out of like human essence. So he's like, he becomes a serial killer.
very
and
strange.
Yes, he becomes a serial killer and starts, the small vet that you were talking about? Think of it on a massive
Jesus,
scale
no.
with naked prostitutes in it. And the very end of it, spoilers, again, if you're ever going to watch the movie Perfume or read the book, he's getting ready to be sentenced to death. They capture him. And he puts on this cologne, this perfume that is made out of like 12 different women with all different smells distilled, and or essences. And when he wears it on his handkerchief and fluffs it before he gets ready to be sentenced to death, everybody's taken over by such a smell that it draws out so much from them, and they all have this massive orgy. Like I told you, it's weird, but the movie's called Perfume. If you get the chance to watch it, it's actually a good watch. And I haven't read it, but
Weird.
Jake
said weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I actually read the book by Tom Robbins that was similar, Human Pheromones on Crack. It's a very famous book. It's called Perfume. And yeah, it's a love story / serial killer.
I'm just putting it in my notes real quick.
She's not. She's on Pornhub.
Yes, I am.
She's on Pornhub.
No, I'm not. Perfume. It's just trying to put me on to women's fragrance.
Just say perfume book or perfume movie.
book.
And whether you like books or movies. The movie is great because it does have Alan Rickman in it. And, Snape. The last woman that he needs to collect, the 12th scent, is this woman who is Snape's, Alan Rickman's daughter. And they flee out of the country to like the hills of France, and he is drawn by her scent so much that he still finds her. He sniffs her out
Jesus.
and still kills her. And
I'd kill him.
Snape? No way.
No, I would
Oh,
kill
that guy.
the hunter.
Oh, they tried to, but he did his little.
He's not come across me
It's
yet.
got Dustin Hoffman in it as well.
Well, who's the bad guy?
I don't really say he's a bad guy, really.
Well, who's the hunter downer of women?
The main character,
Is
the French boy with the strong nose. He goes, so perfume at this time in France was extremely popular, and Dustin Hoffman plays like a rundown perfumist,
Yeah.
whatever, which he made a great scent like 20 years ago, and he's always been trying to live up to that, but he can't keep up with the new smells and the new, like music, it always evolves, and popularity and such evolves. So he likes a certain smell, which is like the famous, everybody in France has it, and he wants to know what goes in it. And this guy with the sensitive nose, the serial killer's like, before he starts killing, he's like, I know exactly what goes into that. And he's like, how could you know? You're not a professional. You're not a perfumer. You don't know these things. And he's like, I could smell every ingredient inside your shop. And he's like, I could put it together in 5 minutes. So he's like trying to convince him to become an apprentice to this perfumer. And he literally just starts grabbing shit off the shelves and sniffing it and making it. And he's like, is that it? He's like, that's it. He's like, I want you. And he starts making all this perfume for the guy. And then the dude gets obsessed with the orange girl, the orange seller, and he kills her, and then wants to harvest human pheromones. Says she's looking into the next business venture. Well, don't harvest my stink, because I'm a stinky ass. Though my breath right now is actually pretty nice. It says they made a bunch of insane perfume that made people. It says can't beat Sex Panther. Okay.
Yeah, can't beat that.
Sex Panther, Anchorman. Wait, that was perfume in that one show. It was a movie. It's a movie. Alan Rickman. Good beer, by the way.
It is good beer.
So getting out of the perfume deal and getting back to your business. So, like right now, you're keeping up with demand, right? There's a lot. Like, it's not just that you are just making something. You're relying on nature. You're relying on things to grow and the harvest and the seasons.
And weather.
Right. So,
All of that.
what's the next big step, if you can reveal it? What's the next big step? Something you've been mulling over that you think would be a great idea, or something that you really think you can knock out, or that might be in demand, or is it perfumes? Because you mentioned that earlier.
I'm definitely into
You've always smelled
the
nice.
distillation for sure, which would be steam distillation of herbs, which would be if you did it with corn.
This right here, I'd wear this motherfucker all the time.
Yeah, you could do
I don't care if I smell like an old lady's spearmint
No,
lifesaver.
that smells just like, that's different.
You're probably used to this smell. You probably don't even smell it anymore.
No,
But it
I wanna
smells
smell it.
amazing to me.
All right, so that's that. So now you have to smell this. Because that's
I don't know. I am quite partial to anything mint. I love mint. Like, I'm that guy who at the bar steals mint leaves and slaps the shit out of them to smell them.
right.
I also do that with like rosemary. Roll it up.
That's lemongrass. So you gotta smell the lemon.
Okay, it smells nice. Is
Nice
this one of
and
these that's
lemony.
affected by smacks? Because I know like basil and mint
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Crush it up.
I'm gonna give it a good smack.
Yeah, smack it.
Get some of these oils working.
Smack.
I was trying to get the.
Smells good, right?
Oh, that's much different.
Oh yeah.
I'm also that guy who I take pepper, like crushed pepper, and roll it in my hand because pepper smells so good.
So
to me.
good.
And
You
people
need
are like,
to
"Are you
get a
sniffing
mortar.
pepper?"
You need to get a mortar and pestle.
I need to make cologne out of this.
Yeah.
Because I have a cologne currently that's my favorite, and it's cedar, patchouli, and cracked pepper.
Nice.
And for me, that's the best. This is basil.
That's Tulsi basil.
So it smells. Ooh, that smells much different than normal basil. It almost has like a licorice smell.
Yeah, it's very clovey.
Cloves. That's where I was going with this. I'm gonna slap this.
Slap it.
Oh, that's much different.
Is that crazy?
I don't know how I would explain that.
So that's a main component in the tea that you like.
So what is that after you?
So when you dry it, it's very fruity. A lot of that like
What are these
clovey spice.
bulbs that I'm? What
That's
is this?
the flowers.
Is that a
So
different smell on that?
flowering, yeah, it's a lot more sweeter when you smell the flower.
That's a very unique smell.
But when you dry it and put it in the tea, that Tulsi really does lend a lot of that fruity smell that you get from the tea blend.
Where are them long boys at? Oh, you put it back in?
Huh? Oh, that's them.
Oh. She's like rolled it up.
You can have more. You can take all. That's all yours. Those herbs. You can take
no
them all.
way.
Why? Dry them up. Smell them.
That by itself is amazing.
So you like the lemongrass better than the Tulsi?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a cologne that's called Lemon, and it's just lemon. It smells like somebody just cut lemon, and that zest is all in the air.
So good.
It's one of my favorites. Mint, lemon. I do like the smell of basil
So I made some shrubs today.
and cedar.
Remember how we used to make
sandalwood.
shrubs?
Yeah.
I did a blackberry lime zest shrub
We
today.
hadn't done one of those in forever.
Yeah.
People come in, they're like, y'all have that non-alcoholic thing that you put the...
You're like water.
Yeah, water. No, we got Sprite and Coke, but for a while there, they were like, we're not doing Coke because Coke did a anti-white training course, and we're not going to do that. And I was like, so
Yeah.
you're going to serve Pepsi? Yeah. I'm like, cool. You still serve Diet Coke? I'm trying to understand the logic. I'm trying. Lemongrass has those aphrodisiac qualities.
Do they, Dan?
I don't know if that's what I would call that. If I could fill a whole room with that smell all the time. I was trying to see what I had on currently. It's not this.
Like that smell though, that's what the brick house smells like all the time.
The brick house?
That's my grandma's house that we
It
work
smells
in.
like lemon?
Smells like all of the herbs that I've ever cut and brought into the house. That's what it smells like.
Do you get tired of it after a while?
Hell no.
You're like, fuck. Yes,
No.
eucalyptus, we get it. You smell nice. Get the fuck
I
out
get
of it.
tired of
Sex
pulling
panther.
weeds.
It's science.
And watering plant. I'll get tired of that some days when it's real hot.
At some point, you're gonna need to hire more, and then you're gonna hire some people who are gonna do all that, and then eventually it's gonna add into that and add into that. And next thing you know, well, I was gonna say on Conan O'Brien, but you're not gonna be on. He's gone, but you'll be on. You know, you're gonna do it up.
Hell yeah. Gonna do it up. I'll clean all of that up.
I was trying to figure out what that was. I think it's
That
not
basil.
this, because the leaves are different. It's a rounded leaf.
It's just bigger.
That lemon though, and that's back here. That's on the top right there, and that's something that you sell, right? And it's like an arrangement.
This is in the that's in the tea blend that you love, the lemongrass. But that's what we grow, tons of bushes of that, and put it into all sorts of things like teas,
I see some
bouquets.
like little sunflowers and.
Yeah, we grow
What
sunflowers.
are these red things?
Zinnias. The red things are called celosia.
Celosia. Okay, sounds like somebody's name.
They're a heat-loving plant, so it's good. It's something good to grow in the south. So
Cucamelons grow here very well.
I know. Have you ever had one?
Oh yeah, I used to have some reason they used to grow like randomly on my like fence. I was like, what are these tiny little things? And I ate one. I was like, it's like a sour cucumber, like
Yeah.
And then I started eating them up. And I was trying to accumulate enough of them to make a cucamelon sour here. It'd be like kind of like a cucumber sour, but just a
How
little bit
much did
different.
they need? Like
I didn't
2
make that much of
gallons?
it. Yeah, I didn't make that much much of it. It was
Yeah.
just my little fence next to my carport that these little things were growing, and I was like, that shit look good. But
That's why shrubs are fun, because you only need like a 1.5 cups, 2.5 cups of the fruit, you know, and then like 3/4 of a cup to a cup full of vinegar to add to it, and then
we don't
sugar.
we don't even do the carbonation here anymore to make the shrubs. You know, we used to have just carbonated water. We'd just be drinking the shit out of that.
You drank so much of that stuff.
We ain't got it no more. And we had a little nitro stout. We had the nitro Walker Station, wasn't it? There's a lot of funky things that we've had that we've kind of just gone away with over time.
Yeah.
Like a radio station, R.I.P. Queen Bee.
Yep.
She is gone for good. Well, I think
Queen
they're
is gone.
talking about doing like online, and the money that they're going to get from selling the tower over the next 5 years, they're going to use to buy another tower and continue with everybody being more experienced and more of a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Hopefully, but they lost their Queen Bee, so I don't know how well they're going to do that. I had it on the. Well, that was a good. It's a good view, so it's
It
not
really
a bad.
is
It's not a
nice.
bad one to be stuck on.
No.
Just so you can see it on a bigger scale. Beautiful, bellissimo. And I see a couple of these. We've got the bundles, we've got the can, we've got the lemongrass back here, sunflower with the thing that likes hot weather.
Yep.
That has the
Celosia.
champagne. There are these red-looking sunflowers. It's like red-looking sunflowers, right?
Those are cone flowers.
Cone?
Cone.
C-O-N-E.
Mhm.
And then there's some more sunflowers and these like wispy things here.
That is parsley blooms.
All of this is like stuff that you've kind of gotten in your little
Yeah,
area.
we've grown. Yep.
It's pretty badass.
Yep.
I got a bunch of cucamelon seeds if you need some. Because I was like, I'm going to need a lot more cucamelons if I want to make a cucamelon sour. So I bought like 1,000 cucamelon seeds.
You did.
Yeah. Did I ever plant them?
No.
Hell no.
I'll take some. Even though I've got like 20 plants I've got to put in the ground and I have no idea where they're going to go. But I'll take some cucamelon seeds,
I
whatever.
want to do these. What do you call them? Creeping something in the grass? Yeah. Can you drink that too?
Yeah. Before you do creeping thyme, so I would look into yarrow. Yarrow.
Is it pretty too?
It's beautiful. You can mow it. But you don't have to mow it.
Yarrow.
But you
It
can
sounds like a
plant
character on
you
a-
can plant it as a like lawn cover, and you can mow it all year long, but it will also bloom in the spring.
Is it A-O? O-A?
2 R's and then OW. So it's got these little feathery leaves, but then it shoots out the white blooms, the common type, and then there's all sorts of different varieties of other colors.
You said you don't have to mow these? They
You
get
don't have
a
to
foot-
mow it. Yeah, they get tall, but you don't have to mow it, but you can throughout the summer while they're blooming. But the benefit to that is it will turn your yard into like
A yarrow.
optimum soil to plant your garden in if you have poor soil.
Just add a
So-
D on the end. It's your, instead of your yard, it's your yarrow.
Yarrowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Like I always see these people, or growing up, I was like, dude, the Seven Dwarfs place with all those fucking flowers and how pretty that place is, I'd like to have that. And then I realized how much fucking work they probably put into making it look like that.
That's why you need 7 dwarves. I need 7 dwarves
Yeah.
to do everything.
For your business. I mean, I know one in town, but he's kind of just
You're
does-
awful. I just meant helpers.
I love him. Shout out. I'm not gonna say your name just in case. Dan, Yarrow's great. No, he is. He has dwarfism.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm
Oh,
just like I
I'd say
shouldn't have
he-
said that about the whole 7 dwarfs thing. I don't need dwarfs. But, fuck.
She's like, fuck. That's when you bring in the. That's when that could have been used, yeah. I was a little late on it.
Very late. More than late.
You drank yours faster than mine. Usually I'm the one that finishes this off first. I'm excited about that one.
Are we gonna do
'Cause-
this one?
Yeah, I like a good stouty boy. What's going on with the fucking internet? It's laggy right now. Okay, we're going back up. Oh, it busted.
It's just a little warm. All right.
The last show I did with Jake, he almost took my eye out with a bottle. It was cork, and he was just like, "Ooh." I smell it already. Good wolf. Definitely not a dwarf. We're not talking about you, Dan.
Yeah.
Maybe we are.
Sorry. You're like, give me the beer can.
No, you can talk about it. Talk about it. That's
Oh.
Pontoon. They make great
Pontoon, which
beer.
is out of,
Marietta? No.
yeah, somewhere in Georgia. Let's see. Sandy Springs. Pontoon Brewing out of Sandy Springs. This is called the Honorary Girl Scout Tag-Along Cookie.
I noticed they put the tag-along cookie where the O is because I don't think they can actually put...
Tag-along.
Yeah,
Because
so...
it's copyrighted.
Yeah.
It's a sweet stout with chocolate and peanut butter.
You're already speaking my language. I love a good peanut
All
butter
right,
stout.
what is the ABV?
I'll get a sniff. Let's see if I can judge it. So the head went down pretty quick, so I'm guessing it's kind of high, at least 6.5 or 7. Ooh, it smells good.
Yeah, that's a good guess there, Brandon. It's 8%.
So Dan said, way to go. Jake trying to add B's eye to the rip list. B's eye. Yeah, I know. He popped that cork and he almost took me out. I needed to do a small clip of that, of him almost killing me. Oh, fuck. Okay, let's get into it. She just get right into it. You said stout and she was about that life.
It's really, really good. That's really good.
Yeah, that's good. You said it was what, 7?
8.
8. So with it being 8, it doesn't really taste like it should be 8.
It's like hazelnutty or something.
Oh, this is good.
So good.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you another can.
That
of
might
it.
be like my favorite of the night.
Yeah, I mean, so I
but
didn't
I'm
really
a stout
have-
person.
I didn't have any bad beers tonight. Let's show this.
No, I mean honestly, Allagash, I would have thought that I would have picked one of theirs, but and even the Baratza, the last one, that was my
Yeah.
favorite, but this is probably my favorite of all 5.
Stouts and sours are kind of like I fuck with them pretty hard, and then probably come browns and reds, and then like IPAs, but not like super hop IPAs, like.
The more citrusy, like
Yeah,
tropical, yeah.
So the 120 minute, I had that with Daniel Watson, which is Brittany's guy.
Yeah.
He has the loft upstairs studio. He actually made that right there, that intro, that song.
Yeah, I
there.
love that.
No,
The-
he didn't make that. He made
oh.
the song in the background.
I got you.
They
Cool.
you can't hear it, but it's synthwave. I let him borrow my keyboard. I have like an 80s Casio, like wood grain keyboard, and I let him borrow it. And I was like, you can borrow it, but I need you to make me a song with it. And he's like, fucking done. I was like, you gotta make it with a frog sound. There's a frog, like, you can set the keys to thing, and there's a frog that's like, rip, 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 rip. And he made a song with the fucking frog. It says, Dan said, Pontoon also has a lemon pepper Berliner Weiss collab with one of my coworkers' brothers that I have saved for one of your shows.
Yum. That
I'm down.
sounds so good.
If you guys have beer, like, I'm pretty good about posting every time I have beer on the show. Mostly it's for me to document it so I don't have like reoccurring beers and drink the same thing. If you have a beer that you don't think I've had before, I mean, I'll buy it off you. Like, real talk. Because Albany doesn't have the greatest selection of beer. And I don't travel out of town enough. A lot of times they don't, like if you go to some packaging stores, they only sell beer in 6-packs or 4-packs. They don't sell singles. You know, Warehouse is good about selling singles, and Creekside Growler is good about selling singles. But aside from that, if I travel out of town, most places don't sell singles. So I've got to buy a 4-pack when I only need one beer. So if you guys buy a 4-pack and you have an extra beer, I'll buy it off you. Just throwing that out. I mean, I run out of beer pretty quick.
I bet you
I have
do.
6 per episode, once a week.
Yeah, that's some.
6 new
That's
beer
some
that I've
beer.
never had before.
So how do you?
2 years worth of that.
Yeah.
I had to document it. See, at the very beginning, you saw I took a picture of all of
Right.
them. So I'll go back, and I'm pretty good about remembering labels, but I'll go back and look. Let's see. Let's see where it's at. I got Instagram. Okay, it's not there. I know this is like boring as shit right now.
No, it's. Oh, to me, it's not. Maybe
Yeah,
to,
I bet.
it's not.
But I like, okay, that's just Twitch stuff. Yeah. And I try to like document all the beer I have so I can go
Sweet.
back and be like, oh shit, that's this beer, that's that one. Fucking Austin.
Yep.
He does good photos, man. I
Yeah,
learned a
he
lot
does.
from him. I worked on my like 35 millimeter, like he does a lot of film photography. So he helped me out with that as far as like developing it. This is a boozy boy. This will get you drunk as shit if you aren't careful with
This
it.
is a boozy boy.
And I think that it's a great way to polish off the night.
Yes, it is.
So I don't think you actually touched on it, or maybe I, with my ADD, deviated from it. What is the next big step? What's the next big thing you want to do?
Big thing. We've talked a little bit about perfumes and things.
Yeah.
I have looked into distillation.
Okay.
Um,
You said that you're kind of on the early scale of like honey right now, yeah?
Yeah, I'd like to get honeybees. Only if I never harvested a single drop of honey, it would be for the pollination, for greater pollination of the flowers and herbs that we grow.
Okay.
Ultimately, the next step is not necessarily like business expansion, but I want to become more and more self-sustainable on our property.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where it would eventually become more of a permaculture type area where you're building the soil and you're working towards like a long-term goal of keeping that plot of land very healthy,
Right.
and native. And so I think as long as I'm taking care of the land that I am living off of and that I'm making my money off of, that the expansion will happen where it needs to happen.
Organically.
Yeah.
Unintended.
But like the work, as long as I'm willing to put in the work and things like that, then I just, as far as a dream goes, I just want to see this continue to just spread out the way that it always has
And
done,
you've
which
come
is
a,
on its
a
own.
pretty good way just in the year and 6 or 7 months that you've been doing it.
Yeah.
You've got ghosts.
Yeah, that's the thing with plants, is that you kind of can go into any direction. You can go into aromatics, you can go into medicine, you can go into, all sorts of stuff. So,
Hammer slap. Oof. I just opened
is
it
that
up
the
again.
Tulsi or the lemongrass
The
again?
lemon.
You,
That lemon's where it's at.
you can grow lemongrass so easily where you are. You might have to buy. Here you can grow it every year. If you ever move like to say North Carolina, Tennessee or above, you'll have to buy one each year or bring it in for the winter. But
Like in a
that-
pot.
dig it back up out of the ground and put it in a pot with dirt and bring it in for the winter time. And then as soon as the first frost danger is gone, you go dig a hole, put it in the ground, and it'll come back up probably
So
by
you
May.
can obviously use this for tea.
Tea, incense, curry. Y'all like to cook curry and stuff.
I love curry.
So all day long in green curry. I do a chicken brine with that. Salt, warm water, lemongrass, and whatever herbs you have, and brine your chicken breast or
Mhm.
whatever in it, and it is like amazing with chicken.
It's kind of like some people who or on like a salmon who use actual like lemon juice. I'm sure you could use probably some of this instead. It says, before the show ends, let's see Lauren's blade that we know is on her hip.
Dan, I can't find my knife.
You call that a knife? This is a knife.
I can't find my knife. I'm so heartbroken about that, but I know that it's at my house. I just can't find it.
We can do a collaboration with Trent and Ty. You know what I'm talking about? He's a blacksmith in town. He's worked for like Man at Arms and Forged in Fire and Amazon. He lives pretty much in Albany. He's a blacksmith. He could probably make you a badass knife.
Hell yeah.
With wild herbs.
Yeah, I need to get one of those.
When you get shanked, it'll have an eye on it.
Hopefully I'll not be shanked.
Just in case, you know, live in Albany.
Yeah.
Dan said, what the fuck?
I know.
And Jake had a little knife emoji.
Dude, I'd have been so happy to show my knife, but I have to. I like turned the house over before I came up here today with it. So.
It's somewhere around like that, somewhere between a knife and a sword. It's
No,
between
it's
this
like
size and that size.
Handle and all, it's this big.
I thought I remember you having a big ass fucking knife on your side. I think it's bigger. That's a folding.
Well.
It's a knife.
However you want to remember it, Brandon.
That's always good to me. I don't care what people say. They can find it annoying as shit, but
it's your first time using it.
It is. I'm going to overuse it. So much so that that I will never use it for a future episode.
I love it.
That one's infinite. I'll just say that. It says that's not the real Lauren.
Fuck you, Dan.
There's no knife. It's not the real one.
I don't even have a pocket knife.
Yeah,
it's not me.
I always try to work out these weird collaborations with people. It's weird. I see connections, like, not that there's a connection between you and a blacksmith, there being a knife that you usually keep with you, but I'm always trying to work out some kind of funky ass collaboration. Like I went to when Brandon used to own Twisted Timber. I was like, hey, why don't you guys get a local blacksmith to make you 3 like axes, and then, you know, people who like, you can give one away as part of like when you guys have a massive competition, or you know, like you can just have them on the shelves and be like hand forged axe, and anybody who gets really into it, that's like the next step. You know, you can get these ones that are basic ass ones that are like mass produced, but like one that a legit blacksmith that's, you know, this guy's, if you've never heard about Trent and Purgatory Ironworks, he does great work. Like I said, he's been on History Channel, he's been on Discovery Channel, he's making props for Amazon movies. Like, he makes legit shit.
Yeah.
And he lives in town, pretty close to town. He's probably like 30 minutes away, but close.
That's how far I am away.
30?
Mm-hmm.
You drove all the way?
Yeah.
You been driving all the way back with all this beer in your belly? In your gullet? You wild.
2.5 beers.
Honestly, yeah, because we're only drinking half of each beer apiece. And so I do want to say, guys, we didn't get a chance to show it on the show, but the Berry Goza, the classic Berry Goza is back, Pretoria, and they have these special beer glasses that if you buy, I think if you pay $10, you get the beer glass and the beer Goza.
Nice.
The Berry Goza, not beer Goza.
Beer Goza.
You get the idea. I'm a Forged in Fire fiend. Yeah, if you've never met Dan, or if you've never met Trent and Ty, he's awesome. I met him first playing arcade games with him. He's come in with this big like Stetson type hat, overalls, covered in dirt. I was like, oh, he's a farmer. Obviously, he's a farmer. He works out in fields and stuff. Played video games with him for years, like fighting games, swords and shit. Never knew. And I was like, dude, what do you do? You're always coming here covered in dirt with overalls. He's like, oh, I'm a blacksmith. And he gave me his business card, and I found his like web tutorials and his videos and all that kind of shit.
That's so cool.
He lives cool. He lives in town. And we have a bow builder in town. Do you know Big Jim?
Mm-mm.
He's been on Field and Stream. He makes beautiful long bows and recurves. He lives in town. Like, use uses what are they called? Like extinct woods.
Yeah.
Like he makes amazing bows. People like go for them like 14 months in advance. They put money on them to try to get him to make them one. He ships them all over the world, and he's in Albany. He's out, by County Line Road, like going out towards Procter and Gamble.
Yeah.
He's not even from Albany. We just have a legendary person like that in Albany.
My uncle was just telling me that a Frenchman just recently bought up like a good bit of acreage and is going to be planting olive trees.
Oh yeah.
And he's got an olive presser.
So we're gonna have like a special wine.
Olive oil.
Olive oil. Okay. I fuck with olive oil.
Like artisanal, local.
Like that legit, that real shit.
Olive oil. I'm so excited.
Yeah, because I'm so tired of going to Walmart and having to buy these big ass things of like some bougie ass, but very basic.
Right. It's like expensive because of what it is, but at the same time, you get about 5 different varieties.
I think they need a lemongrass olive oil.
Well, we can make a lemongrass olive oil. You just pour olive oil over lemongrass. It's very easy. And let it sit for a little while.
This would be perfect for it. You guys grow dill out there?
Not this year. I did last year. All I could grow this year was fennel. I just didn't have any dill seeds to start, so dill was on the.
You do like rosemary, thyme, all that.
I have rosemary, thyme, lavender, sage, basil.
The whole song, Scarborough Fair.
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
What's up, Liv? Local olives? ?
Yeah.
Liv, what's going on? She's one of the brewers here.
Yeah.
And you know Liv.
Yeah.
She's a beast. It says, they say plant olives for your grandkids. It takes 60 years to produce, and they only produce every other year.
I don't know. This guy, he's got some, he's really hopeful about these olive trees he's planting, but it might just be a FSA thing, like FSA loan or something.
He might be bringing in like pretty matured plants to kind of like skip some of it. People taking like, because avocados, for an example, you can't take, you're like, oh, this is a good avocado. I'm going to take the seed out of this or the pit and plant it and get an avocado tree. Yes, you'll get avocados, but they're not going to taste like the ones you had.
Yeah.
So people do the, what is it called? Where you cut part of the branch and you get part
grafting.
of the grafting. You get part of the good one, the one that you want, and it'll continue to grow.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something similar to that.
Yeah, and I think there's constantly new cultivars. Maybe I don't know how they're going to execute it, but I do know that a Frenchman is planting olive trees in South Georgia. So
plant tons of pecan trees and do a what are they called? The fucking, we talked about them earlier. Pecan, the fucking mushrooms. The pigs.
Truffles.
Truffle olive oil. Pecan truffle olive oil. Yes. That would be great.
Yes, it would.
Grafting. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
So there's probably a 20-second delay from what we say to what they see.
You.
So that explains. I'm all for the agri-diversity.
Me too, Liv.
Yeah, Liv knows her plant shit. And Liv, you missed the contest. We gave out $35 worth of wild herbs of iolita credit to buy some of this great tea, or to buy one of the bundles, or to buy, like I said, this lemongrass and this strange form of basil that I don't know, but it's just
Tulsi,
really nice.
Tulsi basil.
It almost has a weed kind of smell mixed with the lemon. What the fuck is that noise? Probably somebody come with some loud music. I was watering plants. Fair enough. Priorities.
That's fair enough. Liv.
This tea that she has, this Iolita's tea garden with lemongrass, Tulsi basil. Is that right? Tulsi. Peppermint, spearmint, nettles, lemon balm. That shit is legit. I've been sniffing it for the last hour. Like every once in a while she's talking, I'm just over here just like Just getting my
Don't let it go up your nose.
just getting my fix. Yeah, I did get some up my nose earlier. I went too hard in the paint. I went sniffing too hard. Either way, it is 12:23. You're 2 hours later than you normally stay up. I apologize. We're gonna get towards the end of the show. Let's talk about our favorite beers and.
I'll take that. Put it in. Clean it up.
I like the smell of it though. I'm gonna grab these beers up.
And now we talk about our favorites, right?
Yes. And what we're going to do is we're going to put from first to last. So this
Okay.
closest to you will be the favorite, and furthest away is the least favorite.
Okay.
So when I say least favorite beer, that is just of these, and it does not necessarily mean it's a bad beer, because I've genuinely enjoyed all of these. Genuinely, and generally enjoyed all of these beer.
So let's pick our least favorite at the same time.
Probably that Rugby Atlanta lager.
Okay.
It was bready. It was good. I like a beer just for being
All right.
a beer. So I'm going to move that one to the end.
To the end. That was the worst
We're tag teaming it.
possible
We're
way
tag
to
teaming
do
it.
it.
And we're going to show you guys these in
Okay.
a second. Actually, what I'll do is here, we'll flip the cans around so they can see it. And,
So we have put the lager as if we just had to pick our last favorite.
and it's from Ironmonger. It's not saying this is a bad beer. This is just saying it's my least favorite of the
Of
five.
the five.
It's still a good beer. It's nice and bready.
All right, so number 4.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate where that's at. That was good. It was it's an IPA. It was a session IPA.
Yep, that's right. You're good. So then I'm going to pick this one to go number 3.
Yeah, I thought it was one of your favorites.
I liked this one and this one.
Okay.
But what do you like?
I would
We'll
say
have
that's
to-
pretty accurate. I would say that's pretty accurate. I'm trying to put these in a way that people can see them.
Yeah, you got it.
This was easily the best beer of the night
So
by
we're good.
a long shot. By a long shot. If the rest of them got, 40 and down under a scale, that's still saying that they're bad. I would say this is like a 98, 99. This is like, I'll fuck this up. Most of the other ones were in the 70s.
This one was good to me too, though. But that stout.
Be
That was
getting his
nice.
fix on those tea leaves. Yeah, no, I was huffing them hard. I dig them. And honestly, the palate on this beer, she's drank all hers because she loves some stouts, and I do as well. But
Yeah, I do.
the peanut butter and chocolate on this one is nice.
Yeah, it is.
It probably would be actually pretty good with some Girl Scout cookies, some tagalongs.
Yeah, that's delicious.
I think the same brewery did the Samoa, right? The coconut. I think they did the same ones. They do really good beer. That's Pontoon. They always
Yeah.
have funky cans, which I've been pushing Pretoria to do, but they're not about it.
Yep, they have the funky cans.
I'm like, dude, do some funky cans. Do some like funky stuff. Like all of your beer look exactly the same. Somebody's getting the Berry Goza or the, what is it called? The Southern Harvest. One's pink and one's red, but the colors are so close that somebody just grabs them out of a fridge or grabs them out of a grocery store. They might grab the wrong one. Like, do your core 4, your Sholey, Skywater, Walker Station, Flowing Well. Do those, the basic cans, and do everything else funky as shit.
Yep.
I generally associate a beer with their label. So the label is what's going to pull me in first and be like, oh shit, that's cool. Well, not that one exactly because that's a lame label. But if I'm like, oh shit, that's cool. It's got this like decrepit old dude on here with a Girl Scout girl looking at her phone. He's got lots of badges. She's got lots of badges. Anyways, and it says cookies, cookies, and cookies. But yeah, I'll look at the label first and be like, that's cool as shit. And then I'll look at what kind of beer it is. So a sweet stout with chocolate and peanut butter. The label is what
good.
pulls me in, and what kind of beer is what sells me. So the kind of beer here would have to sell me because the label is lame. Not throwing shade to Pretoria, but our labels are lame. Pretty lame. Yeah, they did, yeah. I don't know what that means. Either way, we're getting ready to end the show because she's 2.5 hours later than she
No,
normally seems.
I'm not.
She's
Don't make it
yawning
about
like
me.
crazy.
No, I'm not.
She is yawning like crazy. Sorry.
I love it.
But yeah, I've had a great show. Congratulations to Kyle for winning $35. That was the top beer of the night. This was the least favorite of our favorite beers. It's still a great beer. Pontoon. You can get it at Creekside Growler. Shout out to V. Shout out to Bridge. They hooked me up. And if you need to get in touch with her, Wild Herbs, Iolita.
Wild Herbs of Iolita on Instagram
and
or
Facebook. Or OnlyFans. One of the three. Just find
Shut
it.
up.
One of the three.
I don't have that yet.
Yeah, it's just her, like, rubbing lemon. Where'd it go at? It's her rubbing the lemon.
Shut up.
Smacking it every once in a while.
Hilarious. I miss working here sometimes.
Why is that not a thing? Why isn't somebody creating OnlyFans where they're just like...
Maybe you don't. Maybe you've just not found the right OnlyFans.
That sounds funny as shit. Like it, or a Pornhub where it's just somebody who's so infatuated with plants that they literally play like the music, the boom, you know, that music, but it's literally just somebody who's infatuated with plants. She's like, and smacks them.
There is a video of that.
Not on Pornhub.
No,
I need somebody to create a whole
Instagram.
account. I need somebody to create a whole account, and it's like plantophile or something like that. Like, I don't know if that's a word, but or
Hortophile.
plant sexual,
Hortisexual.
hortisexual.
No.
And it's literally like when they slap it, they have a little bubble, a little voice bubble where it's like the plant's moaning a little bit. It's just in text. I would laugh. I wouldn't subscribe to their OnlyFans, but somebody who
wouldn't subscribe.
Somebody who has money probably would, but I'm broke.
But you would not.
Based on all of the equipment that's here, I'm broke. And
I like the
house.
equipment. This has been a very... I love the ring light and the sound effects.
Ring light. Those are infinite. Those last two are infinite. They'll just keep going until I show them the fuck up. Yeah. Anyways, I've had a great episode.
Me
I don't want to
too.
hold you up too much. I want to thank you for finally getting the chance to come on the show with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want to try to find, I already mentioned before your Facebook and your Instagram of the Wild Herbs of Iolita.
Mm-hmm.
So you post there regularly about stuff that's coming out. Do you have an actual like website?
I'm gonna
You
have
said
the
you're working on
website.
Etsy, right?
Yes, and I've got the domain of the website. It will be wildherbsofiolita.com. I've just not got it live yet, and I would hope that maybe within the next month I will have like a whole live e-commerce website up.
That sounds awesome.
But
You're gonna have so much money, you're not gonna know what the fuck to do.
oh God.
You're gonna be going to like Italy and Spain and sourcing like.
Not as long as I
Exotic
have
shit.
all of the animals I have.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'll be stuck here.
I'll buy
But
tea
I'm
soon.
happy with that.
Jake, this is mine. So when I come on the 9th, I'm gonna bring this and we're gonna drink this.
And I can send more with him, Jake.
She won't. Don't.
I
don't-
can.
Don't,
I have it. I have plenty of
Don't
it.
make her give up shit. That's opportunity cost that she's giving away. She's
Cost
giving
of
it to-
opportunity.
Yeah. Instead of her giving it to me, she could sell it to somebody. They could go to somebody like Kyle. Congratulations again, Kyle, for winning the contest.
It's good stuff.
I smell.
Are you going to drink it or are you just going to smell it?
I might just eat some more of it.
Don't do that too much.
It was actually pretty good.
I know.
Oh, I
Try
swallowed
to.
it. I swallowed
It's
it. didn't I?
fine.
I know. I have a bad habit. I swallow my gum too, so it happens to the best of us. I'll pay for it. Well, Jake, if you want to pay for it, go to Facebook or Instagram, Wild Herbs of Iolita.
And say, I want the two types of teas, and I will get them mailed to you, Jake.
Jake, this one with the peppermint, the spearmint, the lemon balm, lemongrass, this one is actually really amazing. I don't know how it tastes as a tea, but as far as eating it raw, it's pretty good. So if that's any indication of how it's going to be as a tea, pretty phenomenal. Dan, you haven't bought any yet. You sack of shit. You should go ahead and hop on that.
Love you, Dan the man.
Dan the man, Dan Belan. We're getting ready to call it a night, guys. Thank you again for coming on. This
Thank
was
you
the
for
beer
having
of the
me,
night.
Brandon.
I will see you guys next week. It's been awesome. And I forgot I had the camera so low now. Ciao, guys. Arrivederci. I'll follow you on there. I'll buy 2 of whatever recommended. We'll message you on Insta in a bit. My order is in the PM.
All right.
Night, folks.